The man accused of murdering his 3 daughters dead. However, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the Chelan County Sheriff is not ready to close the case just yet.
Sheriff Mike Morrison tells me while he has DNA results from clothing believed to be Decker's found in the woods near the crime scene, he's waiting for DNA results from human remains found nearby in order to officially bring closure to family and friends and to dispel rumors.
We're also aware of some narratives that have gone out there that he simply killed somebody else and left their remains on the mountainside.
Tuesday, U.S. Marshals filed a motion to dismiss an arrest warrant for Decker, advising a judge Decker is deceased. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
It was the biggest win of the year for the Mariners. Last night's dominant performance against the Colorado Rockies brings home the first division title to Seattle in 24 years. Here is the great Rick Riz after the final out.
The first division title for the Mariners since 2001. The Mariners have done it. The journey just continues. The Mariners have won 16 of their last 17 games to power their way into October. The fireworks are going off.
And fans tell KIRO 7 TV it was simply a dream come true.
We brought the entire family here, so we're super excited from Arlington, Washington. So it's amazing. We've been fans for years.
New merchandise for the 2025 AL West Division champs is flying off the shelves right now. We're learning that Starbucks is laying off 900 corporate workers and closing hundreds of stores. That's on top of 1,000 layoffs announced earlier this year. It's part of a push to cut costs and invest more in cafes. CEO Brian Nichols says the company is focusing on locations that meet customer expectations. The Wall Street Journal reports Starbucks will spend $1 billion on severance and lease exits. The paper also says corporate employees were told to work from home today and tomorrow. The company plans to renovate 1,000 stores and start growing again next month. And we're learning the mother of a missing Grays Harbor County girl has been released from prison.
Jordan Bowers, the mother of Oakley Carlson, just served time for identity theft. Oakley was last seen in 2021. She was 4 years old. Jeremy Holmes in the Grays Harbor County Sheriff's Office says Bowers and Oakley's father remain the only persons of interest in the case.
One thing I will say is we are working with the Grays Harbor County Prosecutor's Office into potentially looking into a no-body homicide prosecution.
A $100,000 reward is being offered for information that leads to the location and recovery of Oakley. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
An Oregon firefighter is back home after being detained by Border Patrol agents while battling a wildfire on the Olympic Peninsula. KIRO News Radio's Aaron Granillo reports.
23-year-old Rigoberto Hernandez was arrested last month on the front lines of the Bear Gulch fire
for refusing to answer their questions about his immigration status.
Matt Adams with the Northwest Immigrant Rights Project says they filed a lawsuit arguing that arrest was unlawful. He says ICE knew Hernandez had a pending visa, but still held him at the Tacoma Detention Center.
They just ignored that and continued to hold him and said, well, that hasn't been approved yet. We're going to still try to move forward with deportation.
Hernandez has lived in the U.S. since age 4. He was released on Tuesday. Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
A second firefighter who was also arrested at the Bear Gulch fire last month, his status is unknown. And we told you this week that crime is down 25% in Federal Way, and the mayor says stolen cars are a big part of the story. Jim Farrell tells the Jason Rand Show on Seattle Red 770 AM. He attributes that drop to the police's ability to pursue car thieves.
Almost every serious crime that was occurring in Federal Way was occurring in a stolen car or facilitated the crime.
He says car thefts dropped 55% over the past year. And now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. Right now, Everett to Seattle about 28 minutes. Marysville to Seattle 35. Linwood to Seattle about 15 minutes. And for your KIRO News Radio forecast on this Thursday morning, we got some low cloud cover. Air quality is perfectly fine this morning. Expect highs today to be close to 70. And right now, it's about 51 in downtown Seattle. And coming up, Consumer Man Herb Weisbaum on a change coming to passenger protections under the Trump administration. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure. Now, 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's about grit.
Leonard Williams drags him down.
Running through whatever gets in your way.
The handoff to Charbonnet. Stiff arms a man, turns, first down. Oh my goodness! What a blast!
Fighting for every yard.
The handoff to Walker. He breaks a tackle, comes back to the near side, stumbles across the 10, breaks the tackle. Touchdown! Seahawks!
And a drive that never ends. Celebrating 50 seasons of Seahawks football. Visit Seahawks.com/tickets today.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
The markets and the economy will change, but you should always know what you can rely on from your financial advisor. I'm John Ramsire with Baird Private Wealth Management in Seattle. With deep planning and investment expertise, Baird's financial advisors have guided individuals and families through changing markets for more than 100 years. And in all that time, our guiding principle has never changed. Our clients come first, always. Discover the Baird difference at rwbaird.com/Seattle.
Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
Some important news today for anyone who flies. The Trump administration is working to roll back passenger protection rules that were enacted or proposed under the Biden administration.
Consumer man Herb Weisbaum joins us with the details. Herb is a contributing editor at checkbook.org. So, Herb, this is a result of the president's directive to reduce government regulations?
Yep, Charlie, absolutely. In this case, the DOT is reviewing its rules governing the airline industry to determine which ones can be eliminated, which ones can be weakened, a move that would make the airline industry very happy, something they've been pushing for years and likely increase their revenue. Last week, DOT announced that it had scrapped a proposed rule under the Biden administration that would have required airlines to pay passengers up to $750 compensation for long delays or cancellations caused by the airline's actions, something under their control, such as mechanical problems or crew shortages or even system outages. Had a few of those recently. The rule also would have mandated free meals, lodging, and rebooking for those affected travelers. Now, these are not just tweaks. All the consumer advocates I've spoken to say these are a major change in attitude. The The airlines want an end to consumer regulations, and the DOT seems to be following along based on the president's directive. Airlines for America, which is a trade group representing major U.S. carriers, said it would be better served, the public would be better served with competition and not regulation. Consumer advocates strongly disagree, noting there isn't all that much competition. 4 airlines control 80% of all the traffic in this country. And as they put it, Americans may not want some government regulation, but who wants canceled flights and not get a refund? Who wants hidden fees? And who wants zero accountability? And they're urging the DOT not to do this.
Herb, in your checkbook story, you note the airlines also want the DOT to limit performance statistics it collects and publishes. We're talking things like flight delays, cancellations, consumer complaints, mishandled baggage, and such. What's behind this?
Yeah, this is the only yardstick we have to judge the airlines. And the DOT collects it and publishes it. And then reporters and news anchors such as yourself can relay this information to the public, or they can go online and find it out for themselves. We can't compel the airlines to tell us how many cancellations they've had or how many bump passengers they've had. Only the federal government with a rule can compel them to do that. The airlines don't want any responsibility for what they're doing, and they'd rather have this just be opaque and nobody knows what's going on. And again, this is a rule of change that's not getting a lot of attention, but it clearly is a really big one.
And you think that there's one customer service rule that might not get cut? What is that?
Yeah, that's the one we talked about before, the DOT's automatic refund rule. That's the most immune from change. That's the one because it was based on a law passed by Congress. But even so, the DOT has indicated it's planning to review this rule. It requires an airline to automatically refund your full fare if the flight is canceled or significantly changed for any reason and you don't want to be rebooked on another flight. You are automatically guaranteed to the money back, everything you paid, including for baggage fees or anything else. If they want to offer you miles or points or future travel credits, you can take them if you want. But if not, you get a refund. That's the one that may withstand this. One last point I just want to make is we, even now, before anything's gotten rid of, we have fewer protections for passengers flying on U.S. airlines within the United States than we do for airlines overseas. The EU, Canada, the United Kingdom, they all have significant consumer protections, passenger bill of rights, laws that spell out what the airlines must do for you if there's a problem. This has been proposed in the U.S. since 2007. Just hasn't gone anywhere.
Herb, we only have about a minute left, but I understand you just had a little travel adventure coming back to Seattle from London. What happened?
Yeah, we went to Heathrow Airport, wanted to get our tickets after a lovely week with cousin Melvin, and went to the kiosk and said we couldn't book our flight, couldn't get our boarding pass unless we put in the credit card we used to purchase the ticket. They had never told us that in advance. I don't take all my credit cards when I travel. Didn't take that one with me. Saw a supervisor, said, I'm sorry, we can't give you the boarding passes because this is designed to protect you from consumer fraud. And I said, but I have my passport with a picture on it, my driver's license with a picture on it. It's me. Sorry, can't override the computer. Here are your options. Stay in London, buy a new full fare ticket one way back to Seattle for you and Deb. That would be $6,000. Or have somebody break in your house. So I called my really nice neighbor, Sam, at 3 o'clock in the morning here in Seattle. He broke into my house, texted me a picture of the card, and they let me on the flight. Absolutely ridiculous in my point of view. If they're going to do it, they should at least let you know about it. Very dissatisfied Delta customer with this one. Delta said they disclosed it in this whole list of things they tell you before you fly, but I don't believe that's good enough. And if you want to read it, the whole story, every drop of it, including the steam coming out of Deb's ears, is on the website, checkbook.org. In just a few minutes, I gave this to you guys before we even were able to publish it.
Everybody needs a neighbor, Sam.
Yeah, and I kind of want to, I want to part.
By the way, he got a box of chocolates from Harrods for that brilliant actor. I just want to let you know that.
Is it possible to go to London and party with cousin Melvin?
Oh, let me tell you, at 83, cousin Melvin is like a party animal. You should see this guy.
All right, consumer man Herb Weisbaum, checkbook.org. Thanks, Herb.
See you next week.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, it's a cool start to this morning with some fog and much better air quality. It will be partly cloudy this afternoon with cooler daytime highs in the mid-60s. Right now, it's about 51 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, a unique story of rebuilding after last year's devastating Hurricane Helene. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure. Now, 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft in a breach or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it. Guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things are about to change, and some things aren't. If you ride without a good-to-go account, you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. Having good-to-go means it'll cost less than pay by mail. Not a change. Carpoolers will need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. A good-to-go pass saves you $2 on every toll. No change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com. Free Flex Passes while supplies last.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
After replacing more than 100,000 failing lenses, we have the experience to tell you if it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation with us about K2 Vision RLE to get your eyes seeing young again, permanently.
Go to K2VisionRLE.com, K2VisionRLE.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. It's G. Scott. School's back and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused, but for families on tight budgets, that's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with SNAP Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
If you're thinking about renovating an attic, spending more time in your sunroom, or building onto your home, a Carrier ductless unit is the perfect solution for climate control. It's efficient, quiet, and incredibly flexible when it comes to installation because there's no ductwork required. It's just one more way we're making your home totally comfortable.
Your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer will improve your home's comfort, air quality, and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find the expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck is about to break. Set yourself up for success by working with a team that doesn't just set up your listings and let it sit. The Novak team creates a marketing strategy that's hands down proven successful. Mike sold over 1,500 homes and guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If Mike doesn't get your home under contract within 21 days, he sells it for free. That is no commission for Mike. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, NOVAKS.com.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game on Sunday, October 5th. Head to the KIRO News Radio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO News Radio app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day, September 23rd through September 29th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Authorities say the fatal shooting outside the ICE facility in Dallas, Texas was an act of targeted violence that stopped when a sniper on the rooftop turned the weapon on himself. CBS's Omar Villafranca has more.
Officials say the gunman shot 3 detainees in a van just outside the building, killing 1. No ICE agents were injured. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons.
There was no way he could have known detainees were in that vehicle. He was just indiscriminately shooting, hoping to cause some carnage and mayhem.
Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says the federal government has stepped up security at ICE facilities around the country. Meanwhile, here in Washington, ICE is using a TV ad to try and recruit Seattle police officers.
In the ad, which addresses Seattle police officers directly, ICE offers a $50,000 signing bonus. And the voice in the ad says, quote, "In sanctuary cities, you're ordered to stand down while dangerous illegals walk free." Former King County Sheriff John Urquhart spoke with Gia and Ursula.
I think the sanctuary city part of it is just to stick their finger in the eye of the sanctuary cities.
Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell released a statement which reads in part, "We are not going to compromise our high standards for law enforcement when the Trump administration tries to bully us into violating our own laws and values." Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
The U.S. Marshals have made it official. Travis Decker, the man accused of murdering his 3 young daughters, is dead. However, Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison says he's still waiting for all the DNA results to come back from the state crime lab before he makes the call.
We still feel optimistic that we have located Mr. Decker and that eventually, if we get our results back, that we'll put a close to this case.
Tuesday, in a motion to dismiss an arrest warrant, U.S. Marshals declared Decker deceased. The Seattle Mariners are the 2025 AL West Division champions. The Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh hit home runs 59 and 60 of the season last night against the Colorado Rockies.
Fly ball to right field, number 60!
Raleigh is just the 7th player in the MLB history to reach 60 home runs in a season. While the team celebrated the historic moment, there is still much more that can be done in the final 4 games of the season. The M's still have a chance to lock up the 2nd seed in the American League with a victory against the Rockies. The game begins at 6:40 tonight. You can catch all the action on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. And now for your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. Bellevue to Seattle about 11 minutes right now. Marysville to Seattle 35. Everett to Bellevue about 25. Puyallup to Renton 18. And for your forecast, we're off to a cool start this morning with some fog and much better air quality today. It'll be partly cloudy this afternoon, cooler with highs in the mid-60s. Right now, it's about 51 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
After Hurricane Helene slammed the southeast U.S. just last year, homes in western North Carolina were damaged beyond repair. But one resident saw the value of old wooden debris and decided to build something new from the rubble. Here's CBS's Dave Malkoff.
How many years will it take to wash these tears away?
If you follow
follow the music down a windy mountain road in Leicester, North Carolina, it will lead you to a new house that feels like it's always been here.
Pretty much everything is recycled and salvaged.
This is where we met John Sonby.
I just love this stuff.
He pulled his porch post out of the wilderness. He found his kitchen floorboards inside a cotton mill bearing the scars of the late Industrial Revolution era.
And that's what those marks right here are. Diamond plating steel.
Just as John was finishing the kitchen, disaster struck in his beloved Western North Carolina. Helene.
Seeing it on the news is one thing, but standing there amongst it is hard to get your head around. But the debris...
Oh, we saw it when we were in Marshall.
Oh, yeah, that was horrible.
And it was the dead of winter, too.
You can't even tell that people have been working day and night since.
For months, the pieces of buildings and homes were just sitting there. Some spots are still not cleaned up. But that's when a light went off above John's head.
That's a chandelier. That's the porch light. It's things like that. The woods are full of treasures.
There was also, apparently, treasure in the debris piles. Hurricane destruction, plus John's tools, raised a home. Call it metamorphosis.
And it wasn't like you were pulling stuff out that people wanted to keep, right?
Oh, no, this was headed to the landfill.
John says he's never had the resources to satisfy his creative vision. From the black locust bark siding to the pieces of knocked down trees that now hold a roof over his head.
You can see on where it was dragging on the asphalt, but...
What, you were dragging this behind Butterbean?
Yeah.
Butterbean.
Butterbean's a 58 International pickup.
That's the truck he used to bring all this debris home.
I never get tired of this view.
1 year later, he's still looking for more weathered wood. Today, he wants wormy chestnut.
Which in the early days in the Carolinas, it was a real plentiful tree.
His neighbor's 100-year-old barn survived the storm, but it's barely standing.
You can see right here where you have those deep marks in it. You put a wire wheel to that, and the texture will just scream at you.
John sees what others don't.
When I wake up in the morning, my head's full of this stuff. So I get all these ideas from my sleep.
It's almost like singer-songwriters tell us about how music comes to them.
Yeah.
Oh, the better me. Oh, the better me.
Appalachian recording artist Jenny Kimmel is John's partner in this project.
I want to hear the story.
Not with her tools. They're more like each other's muse.
This house has like the soul of the world in it, you know? It's nice to be with somebody who sees that. It's quiet.
Somehow, it just works. These broken pieces, carefully crafted together at the end of a road.
How long before you can call this your home?
Give me a year.
You think you can do it in a year?
Yeah. Yeah.
You said this is your last hurrah. What do you mean by that?
I'm kind of wearing out. It takes a lot of energy to do it by yourself. So the last hurrah is going out in style.
I'm Dave Malkoff in Leicester, North Carolina.
Coming up, we'll have some national headlines. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio.
Hey, that energy, that sensation we're all feeling right now, that's playoff fever.
Let's just talk about these Mariners.
They're the talk of the town.
They've won 14 of 15 games.
Can we just talk about that catch by Robles?
A season-saving catch by Victor Robles.
KIRO Newsradio has all the Mariners buzz.
It's just kind of unbelievable.
And our partner Seattle Sports has the games. Listen free on the Seattle Sports app.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide.
based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZzzQuil Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
If you plan to use the carpool lanes along SR 167, you'll soon need a flex pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
He flew fighter jets in 2 wars and taught you how to drive a car. He fed everyone on the block, but never shared his secret recipes. And every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage. The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
I'm Macy House with Baird Global Investment Banking. In today's markets, global financial capabilities aren't worth much without personal attention to your priorities. Baird Banking, Research, and Private Equity professionals are located across 3 continents, sharing more than investment expertise. As employee owners of our firm, we all have a personal stake in your success, here in the Pacific Northwest and around the world. Discover the Baird difference. Visit rwbaird.com/Seattle.
This week at Dimitro's Jazz Alley, experience guitar legend Al Di Meola live on his electric tour, Land of the Midnight Sun. Shows run this Thursday through Sunday. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, the Oregon Trio.
CBS News Brief. Jimmy Kimmel contrite on his return to his late-night TV talk show almost a week after he was suspended for comments about Charlie Kirk's murder.
This show is not important. What is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this.
About 20% of affiliate stations didn't air last night's episode. President Trump's had an apparent about-face on the war in Ukraine.
Frankly, Ukraine is doing a very good job of stopping this very large army.
Today, the Kremlin rejected Mr. Trump's accusation Russia is a paper tiger facing big economic problems. Democrats in Washington accusing the president of chickening out after he canceled a meeting about avoiding another possible government shutdown. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
It's clear that Donald Trump and House Republicans and Senate Republicans are running scared.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
For your KIRO Newsradio forecast, we're off to a cool start this morning with some fog and much better air quality. It'll be partly cloudy this afternoon with cooler daytime highs in the mid-60s. Right now, it's about 51 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, former State Attorney General Rob McKenna explains a decision from the U.S. Supreme Court this week that could have big implications on how much power the president should have over federal agencies. That's next. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Imagine homes so well designed
and so luxurious, they'll be setting the standard for decades. You're imagining a Mainview home. Now imagine a Mainview home on sale, saving $50,000 to $120,000.
Isn't that what Brett and Amy bought?
Yeah, it's a Mainview, and they saved a bundle.
What are you doing?
Looking at the Mainview website. It's now or never.
What's better than a Mainview home? A Mainview home on sale. Mainview communities across the Puget Sound.
KIRO Newsradio is teaming up with Global Credit Union to support our veterans with the Invest in Our Veterans program. For more than 75 years, Global Credit Union has been committed to our military communities and to organizations that back our military and their families. Do you know a nonprofit serving our heroes that could use additional funding? Head to mynorthwest.com/veterans to nominate an organization to receive $1,000 to support their mission. Let's invest in our veterans. Go to mynorthwest.com/veterans.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
This week, the U.S. Supreme Court gave President Trump the power to fire the commissioner of the FTC, Rebecca Kelly Slaughter, setting up a court battle over a 90-year-old limit on executive power over independent agencies.
Joining us now to break it down is former State Attorney General Rob McKenna. Good morning, Rob. Can we just start by going over what the president's beef is with Slaughter?
It appears to be political. She's a Democratic appointee, and she's the last Democrat on the Federal Trade Commission. So I don't think it's much more complicated than that. The FTC under the Biden administration was not popular with the business community. It was particularly aggressive and litigious, and President Trump's come in and decided to try to make the agency, in his own image in a way.
So Slaughter is essentially saying this old Supreme Court ruling protects her job and the president can't fire her?
Right. So this is a case from 1935 from the U.S. Supreme Court called Humphrey's Executor v. United States, and it's about the firing of an FTC commissioner. And in that case, the Supreme Court made a distinction between independent agencies established by Congress to carry out a legislative function and agencies created for purely executive functions. Now, that's the Supreme Court ruling. Keep in mind, the FTC commissioners are appointed by the president. So for a while now, some members of the Supreme Court have suggested that the 1935 ruling actually infringes on executive power.
Could this ruling have further ramifications?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if the FTC has no Democrats on it, even temporarily, it will, make the FTC probably more pro-business in some ways. But keep in mind, there are members of the FTC who are Republican appointees appointed by Trump who are actually pretty hostile to certain categories of American business that they believe are woke or are, pushing algorithms that are harmful to kids or what have you.
So does the argument boil down to here, Rob, that the president feels he should have people on his side in these important commissions, and that is what he was able to win by winning the presidency?
Yeah, that is their argument. The Trump administration holds what's known as a unified executive view of government. They want a very strong executive branch. This is a tension that's existed in our country since its founding, when Thomas Jefferson wanted a very weak executive, Washington, Hamilton wanted a stronger executive. So it's not a new issue, but we've seen, especially since the New Deal, the federal government and the executive branch become more and more powerful, often at the expense of Congress. And here, the question is, if Congress passes a law that says, as it did with the FTC Act, that commissioners can only be removed for cause, for dereliction of duty, for example, and the president wants to remove them for political reasons, who wins? In a system of government with three co-equal branches, legislative, judicial, and executive, can the executive override the legislature's will and say, no, I don't like that person, I disagree with their politics, I want to fire them? That is exactly why Franklin Roosevelt wanted to fire Humphrey back in the early 1930s, by the way, a difference over political goals and policies. So it's a tension between the two branches, and here we have a Supreme Court with a majority that seems to favor executive power more than courts have in the past, certainly more than the court did in 1935.
Speaking with former State Attorney General Rob McKenna. So where do we go from here, Rob?
Well, we'll see. This is one of these emergency docket cases that we've talked about where the immediate question is whether or not the Democratic commissioner's removal is going to be upheld, or whether she can go back to work until the ultimate question is decided by the Supreme Court of whether or not the president can remove an FTC commissioner for political purposes. This is not the only case, by the way, involving Trump's decision to fire a Democratic appointee to an appointed board. He's done that with the Merit Systems Protection Board, the Civil Service Board, and the National Labor Relations Board as well. So, those bodies also have members who can only be removed for cause. So, we've got a big decision coming here next year. I think the case will be heard in December as to whether the executive has this kind of power or not.
Well, while we have you, Rob, this story just came out yesterday, and we've talked to you before about it. Washington State's self-insurance fund for lawsuit payout says it's in financial crisis now, and it needs an immediate $570 million infusion. And they warned they could have a potential deficit reaching $2, maybe more than $3 billion by 2029 without major reforms. What are your thoughts on this?
This is the inevitable result of the legislature and a series of governors refusing to put in real checks and balances on the tort liability of the state for claims by people that they were harmed. Decades and decades ago, in order to sue the state for harm, you had to actually get the legislature to pass a bill to allow you to do that. Now we have the most liberal rules in the country allowing people to sue the state government for damages. When I left office, I had been sounding the alarm bell for 8 years, saying this is an unsustainable trend. At that time, it was a lot of money to pay out, $60 million in a year or $80 million in a year. That was one of the largest amounts in the country. Now they're paying hundreds of millions of dollars per year in these enormous judgments. $20 million, $30 million, $40 million, it just isn't sustainable in a system where the state has to fund these losses itself. We ought to adopt rules like Massachusetts or California. Notice I'm not proposing red state rules. I'd be happy if we just adopt other blue state rules for limiting the amounts that people can collect from the state in these personal injury cases.
And what's at risk if we don't adopt these new rules?
There'll have to be more tax increases and more cuts to other programs that take care of abused and neglected children, for example. They'll have to find some way to pay for it because they refuse to put rules in place that are common sense and that our neighbors in Oregon and across the country have always had in place.
Rob, thank you for your time as always. Former State Attorney General Rob McKenna.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, it's a cool start to our morning with some fog and much better air quality today. It'll be partly cloudy this afternoon. Highs will be cooler in the mid-60s. Right now, it's about 51 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, more of the day's top stories on Seattle's Morning News. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Hey, that energy, that sensation we're all feeling right now, that's playoff fever. Let's just talk about these Mariners.
They're the talk of the town.
They've won 14 of 15 games.
Can we just talk about that catch by Robles?
A season-saving catch by Victor Robles.
KIRO Newsradio has all the Mariners buzz.
It's just kind of unbelievable.
And our partner Seattle Sports has the games. Listen free on the Seattle Sports app. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
There it goes! Storybook season by Cal Raleigh. He has done it!
2026 Mariners season ticket memberships are on sale now. There's no better way to catch Cal, Julio, and the crew at T-Mobile Park with year-round savings, no ticket fees, access to exclusive pre-sales and events, and more. And you've got two great options. Reserved memberships let you lock in the best locations in the ballpark so you can make your favorite spot home all summer long, whether you want to catch 20 games or the whole season.
Oh, he makes the catch! What a snag by Julio Rodriguez!
Or go with a Flex membership, which gives you the freedom to choose your seats, games, and number of tickets as you go. Terrace Club, bleachers, right behind the dugout, divvy it up however you want. This season's been a whole lot of fun, and you won't want to miss out in 2026. Come on board today at mariners.com/26.
The Mariners, their third consecutive shutout win.
Mariners baseball. Seize the moment.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
You pledged your life to serve. You made sacrifices, lost loved ones. At VA, we don't see the falls you've taken. We see the 1,000 times you've stood back up. We embrace your uniqueness and won't trivialize your hardships. We can't promise to heal all wounds or wash away all trauma, but we do see a path forward. We see all veterans. We see you. Learn how treatment works and recovery is possible. Visit MakeTheConnection.net.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO Newsradio.
It may be the most noble profession.
Come on.
It's the work of heroes.
Heroes?
You want to live without plumbing?
Well, no.
Then you need plumbers.
Right.
Thing is, so do I.
You need plumbers.
Smiles, actually.
Smiling plumbers?
Or someone who smiles and wants to become an Apollo plumber.
A smile. That's what it takes?
Skills are something we can teach.
Sure.
But a positive attitude comes from within.
That's a big part of being an Apollo plumber.
The biggest part.
What else?
A desire to learn and serve.
Just like every Apollo plumber.
As they learn, so shall they earn.
Earn?
Apollo plumbers can earn 6 figures.
Enough to make me smile.
We believe you get what you give.
Give a smile.
And Apollo service.
Get a smile.
A well-paid smile.
Driving one of those big blue Apollo trucks.
That's the goal.
Does seem pretty noble.
It's important, satisfying work.
And you're looking now?
There's always room for another smile around here.
On the Apollo Plumbing team.
Apply at apolloplumbing.com.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
If you're worried your friend may be struggling, remember, you don't have to be there to be there.
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the JED Foundation.
Headed to work? Subaru of Puyallup Service Department opens at 5 a.m. 6 days a week with expert technicians ready to care for your car. Just another way we are your stress-free dealership. Schedule now at SubaruofPuyallup.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Brand new numbers from the Commerce Department show the economy did a lot better than first reported in the last quarter. CBS's Jason Brooks on the surprise rebound.
Economic growth was stronger than expected, with the government revising second quarter GDP higher to 3.8% from 3.3%. A big surprise for the market, which expected the numbers to remain steady. The increase in GDP is credited to lower imports and stronger consumer spending.
Orders for big-ticket items like appliances and electronics, the unexpected bright spots. A possible government shutdown is less than a week away, which could mean hundreds of thousands of federal workers will be furloughed. But the Trump administration is threatening to cut some jobs permanently if Democrats don't make a deal. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe is in Washington.
In exchange for their votes, Democrats want concessions like rolling back this year's Medicaid cuts and extending health insurance tax credits. President Trump canceled a meeting with Democratic congressional leaders that was scheduled for today, calling their demands ridiculous.
Sources tell CBS News federal prosecutors will make a decision quickly on whether to seek an indictment against President Trump's longtime foe, former FBI Director James Comey. Correspondent Scott McFarland.
It's the new top federal prosecutor in the Eastern District of Virginia, Lindsay Halligan, who will decide whether to ask a grand jury to charge former FBI Director James Comey with a crime, and she has until Tuesday to do so. The statute of limitations for allegations that Comey gave false statements to Congress 5 years ago. Comey has denied wrongdoing, but the president publicly demanded Comey's prosecution in a social media post earlier this month.
Delta Airlines is making changes to some of its plans to stop planes to stop toxic fumes from leaking into the cabin.
Last week, the Wall Street Journal reported about thousands of cases where fumes from an Airbus jet's engines have given passengers and crew concussion-like brain injuries. Dr. Robert Harrison has treated more than 100 flight crew members.
And it gets into their brain and can affect the other parts of the nervous system.
Now, the journal reports Delta is replacing the auxiliary power units in the tails of its Airbus jets. Those units can pump the toxic air into the cabin when the plane's two main engines aren't running. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Big changes on the way at the country's largest coffee chain. Starbucks CEO Brian Niccol has just announced a $1 billion restructuring plan. He says the company will close 1% of its locations in the U.S. and North America and cut about 900 non-retail jobs as part of a transformation strategy. Employees will find out who stays and who goes tomorrow morning. Office workers have been told to work from home. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today.
6:03 Thursday morning. Let's check in with Sully at the traffic desk.
And it's going to be another rough day getting out of Pierce County today. Northbound 167. We continue to work with the aftermath of that bridge strike that might be with us for a while on northbound 167 there as you approach Ellingson. Only the right lane open. Already an hour from Puyallup to Renton. That is a 25-minute delay, and also the side neighborhoods are really starting to feel that, Charlie. I know you and I are going to talk about that throughout the show because you live down there. We're already looking at a lot of ripple effect of diversion on northbound I-5 through Fife up to 18. Tacoma to Federal Way already running plus 10 at 25 minutes. We have 40 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. Renton to Bellevue's only 20. Out of the north end, still relatively quiet in Snohomish County. Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, 35 minutes. Olympia to Tacoma's 35. And an update over Mercer Island. They've finished some of the work overnight, and so East Mercer Way is now open. That on-ramp to eastbound 90 is open, and now the work site is over on the left-hand side of the road, so just be prepared for a traffic jog. This report brought to you by Kia of Everett. Thinking of a Kia EV? Act fast, that is. Thousands of tax credits end September 30th. KiaofEverett.com. Check out the huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:04. Our top story you just heard on CBS News. Starbucks is laying off 900 more corporate workers and closing some stores. Company says it's trying to cut costs, invest more in its cafes. Now, this is on top of the 1,000 layoffs announced back in February. Most of the affected jobs are in North America, ostensibly here in Seattle, and many open roles are being eliminated too. Corporate employees were told to work from home today and tomorrow. Starbucks says it'll tell employees tomorrow morning if they're being laid off. Now, the company has seen 6 straight quarters of declining sales, and we're seeing reports this morning already that the Starbucks Reserve shop on Capitol Hill was boarded up overnight. 6:05 now. It was a historic night for the Mariners as the team captured a division title for the first time in 24 years. And city is still buzzing with excitement this morning. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is outside T-Mobile Park in Soto where the celebration took place last night. Good morning, Luke.
It is a great morning, isn't it? Well, there is a buzz still here at T-Mobile Park. The roof's closed, but the stadium lights are still on. And hey, if you're driving to work right now, take a look up, either from I-5 or 99. You can see that big blue W, those blue lights right up there on the roof. You know, this was the first division title since 2001. It's been more than 2 decades, folks, and they got here with a huge exclamation point, crushing the Colorado Rockies 9-2 last night. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, hit home runs 59 and 60 on the season.
Holy smokes, where is this going to land? Upper deck, right field. Number 59 for Cal Raleigh. He has just tied Babe Ruth for the most home runs in a single season in American League history. Swinging a drive deep to right field. There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
Incredible. You know, Cal is now the 7th player in Major League history to hit 60 home runs in a single season, and he did it as a catcher. Thousands of people here last night. You probably heard it if you were here at the game or you're watching on TV. Thousands of fans chanting MVP when he came up to the plate. You know, back in 2001, the last time the Mariners won their last division title, the roster sounded like this. Dan Wilson, Olerud, Ichiro. That was his debut season. Edgar, Jay Buhner didn't play the season but played in September. Brett Boone, Carlos Guillen, and now we've got Cal, JP, Julio, Arozarena, Gilbert Kirby, the All-Star Brian Wu. Castillo pitched a heck of a game last night, just allowing 1 run, and he's got 10 strikeouts, so we are stacked with talent. There's a lot of buzz. The Mariners, folks, advancing to the playoffs. I can't believe I'm saying this. Advancing to the playoffs for just the 4th time in 26 seasons, and they're doing it as AL West champs. So, bottom of the hour, I want you to stick around, folks, because we're going to be focusing on the fans. You're going to hear yourselves how you reacted to the big win. For now, we're live outside T-Mobile. Luke Ducey, KIRO Newsradio.
All right, Luke, thank you. And we have the Rick Riz Show. Rick will join us live at 7:15. I'm really looking forward to that. 6:07 now. A bridge strike on northbound Highway 167 has reduced traffic to a single lane on the northbound side. WashDOT's R.B. McKeon says the damage is significant and it will likely require a girder replacement. Now, the bridge is part of the detour route for the already closed White River Bridge on Highway 410, which was hit earlier this year.
This is just a really unfortunate situation where we've had 2 bridge strikes in, kind of close proximity to each other that have taken out normal traffic flow across 2 bridges.
No word yet how long before the bridge over 167 is fixed. Now, crews do hope to have the White River Bridge back in service by mid-November at the latest.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
And Sully, the great news about that closure is GPS now has drivers going through my neighborhood.
Yeah, that was the news we were talking about. Isn't that awesome?
Fun.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, no.
Meeting a whole bunch of new people.
You sure are. Well, just seeing a whole bunch of new cars. My daughter was saying the high school is about a mile away, and all the kids were late. Everybody's just late. It's gridlock on Lakeland Hills Way. So fun times.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm not sure how
your definition of good, maybe not the definition most people would have.
No, probably not. But taking a look at the damage at the underside of that bridge.
Yeah,
it's probably going to be with us for a while.
Got it.
It's not going to get better.
All right. Well, we'll stay on
Aren't
top
I
of
full
it.
of sunshine on this?
Look at
Can
you.
we just talk about the Mariners instead? Let's just move
we really
on.
should.
Let's just talk about nothing
man,
but the
what
Mariners.
a great game. What a great game. I have seen some highlights this morning. Fun times. All right. This hour of Seattle's Morning News, sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control. You were down in the South End yesterday, right, Sully?
Yeah. I was doing a little driving, checking out the new 509 Expressway. All 1 mile of it, and I've got a choke point coming up. We'll talk about. Tolling starts Monday, so I've got some kind of a to-do list for you if you're going to be using it.
Okay, sounds good. You might have noticed Manda is off today and tomorrow. She has some family fun stuff happening, so she'll be back with us Tuesday. We'll also have the Hill.com reporter Alex Bolton on the looming government shutdown this hour. It's now 6:10 on Seattle's Morning News. U.S. Marshals say Travis Decker is dead. He is the man accused of murdering his 3 daughters. However, Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison says he is still waiting for DNA results to come back from the state crime lab before he makes it official.
We still feel optimistic that we have located Mr. Decker and that eventually, if we get our results back, that we'll put a close to this case.
KIRO 7 is reporting those DNA tests are expected to be returned today. Fire crews in Chelan County are bracing for strong winds later today. They're expanding evacuation orders for the Labor Mountain Fire, now crossing Highway 97. No homes are threatened yet, but officials say residents should be ready to leave. Chelan County Emergency Management posted the update on Facebook. Level 3 evacuations now stretch along Entiat River Road all the way to Crum Canyon Road. Crews are watching the weather closely with a red flag warning possible later today. We told you this week that crime is down 25% in Federal Way, and the mayor says stolen cars are a big part of the story. Mayor Jim Farrell tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM he attributes that drop to police's ability to pursue car thieves now.
Almost every serious crime that was occurring in Federal Way was occurring in a stolen car or facilitated the crime.
Car thefts dropped 55% over the past year. The mother of a missing Grays Harbor County girl has been released from prison.
Jordan Bowers, the mother of Oakley Carlson, just served time for identity theft. Oakley was last seen in 2021. She was 4 years old. Jeremy Holmes in the Grays Harbor County Sheriff's Office says Bowers and Oakley's father remain the only persons of interest in the case.
One thing I will say is we are working with the Grays Harbor County Prosecutor's Office into potentially looking into a no-body homicide prosecution.
A $100,000 reward is being offered for information that leads to the location and recovery of Oakley. Frank Lenzi, KIRO Newsradio.
An Oregon firefighter arrested by Border Patrol agents has been released from the ICE detention center in Tacoma. Lawyers for Rogeberto Hernandez argued he was unlawfully detained while fighting the Bear Gulch fire in the Olympics last month. Matt Adams is legal director with the Northwest Immigrant Rights Project.
They had arrested him simply because he refused to answer their questions. And this was despite the fact that he was targeted while working on an active wildfire.
Adams says Hernandez has lived in the U.S. since he was 4 and has a pending visa. He's now back home with his family. Border agents arrested a second crew member on the Bear Gulch fire, but his whereabouts are right now unknown. Time to check weather is brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. Nick Allard, maybe we talk about what the weather will be like tonight at T-Mobile Park.
Great. There'll be goodness and greatness in the air, and it will be fantastic with temperatures in the 60s, and you'll have some clouds, but the roofs will be open and it'll be dry and no problem there at all. And air quality is so much better now and just will continue to get better. This morning we have clear conditions. It's a little chilly compared to yesterday, and because of that, we're seeing some fog settle in. So please expect to see some patchy fog on your way out the door, and then that fog lifts, but at the same time as it's lifting and you're seeing some sun later in the afternoon, you will see increasing clouds, but that's about all we should see. There may be a few sprinkles closer to the border farther north, but I think that would be the extent of any chances for showers today, and highs in the mid-60s. Same idea tomorrow with some more cloud cover farther north or a few sprinkles closer to the Canadian border. The rest of us see at least partly cloudy skies and upper 60s. You're about 70 for Saturday and Sunday, and then what you find is some rain increasing later Sunday into Monday, and then we cool it off to the low 60s. But yeah, if Cal's going to hit homer 61 and 62 tonight, then all we got to do is get above Aaron Judge, because the other records don't count. I honestly, it's one thing, the playoff part of it is so amazing and so wonderful. I keep forgetting he just tied Babe Ruth. It's crazy to think about.
Now, let me ask you this, because we love it when you go off on stuff like this. Are you allowed to do that on TV, Nick?
Not really.
Okay, all right. Well, it's just a hang here on Seattle's Morning News.
Well, here's the thing. You know my boss. You could make a few phone calls and get this done. I always have to be careful what I say around Charlie because he knows my boss.
Make it the Nick Talk Show. I'm gonna work on that.
Tens of people will watch that.
Perhaps dozens.
Maybe. I'm pushing it, but yeah.
All right, Nick, thanks. It's 50 and clear in Seattle, and we check in with Sully now at the traffic desk.
And this morning is going to sound a lot like yesterday. If those of you trying to come up from the south end, we've got a 4-mile backup on northbound 167 because of that closure of the 2 left lanes of that bridge strike. They're approaching Ellingson and Pacific. We've got about an hour drive from Puyallup to Renton, so way behind schedule. Also, we're seeing a lot of the side streets filling up. Northbound I-5 taking a lot of diversion already. 25 minutes to make the drive from Tacoma to Federal Way. That's about a 10-minute delay. And then you have 40 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle, 20 from Renton to Bellevue if you're continuing up that corridor. Olympia to Tacoma is not too bad. We've got 35 minutes for you, and we're still under 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, so much better than yesterday on that drive coming down from Snohomish County. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company look good with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Visit SUPlinen.com.
6:15, Rihanna's family just got a little bigger. KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gishard has the details.
Alrighty, the music and beauty mogul has given birth to her 3rd child with rapper A$AP Rocky. And this baby is a girl. The couple posted the announcement on Instagram with pictures of Rihanna holding her newborn swaddled in pink along with a tiny pink pair of satin boxing gloves. Her name is Rocky Irish Mayers, named after the singer's dad. She joins Big Brother's RZA, who's 3, and Raya, age 2.
Named after the singer's dad, but isn't her, beau A$AP Rocky? There's a bunch of Rocky there.
Yeah, well, I could see that.
Yeah, all right. Well, it's a cute photo. I saw it on Instagram.
Adorable.
Love it. Okay, thanks, Katrina. It's 6:17.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's Morning News.
Hey, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Solomon.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, your free taste of the new 509 Expressway is about to end. Tolling on the first segment of the road begins Monday morning. Sully, you went down and checked it out.
Yeah, I drove it a bunch yesterday to try to get a good idea about what it will do for you or what it will look like. I posted a video of that up on our Twitter feed. Should be up at My Northwest in my story here soon. But the new 509 Expressway opened in late June. It's the first mile of this expressway connecting I-5 to 24th Avenue South and SeaTac. Eventually, the expressway will go all the way around to 188th, connecting to where 509 ends today, near the southwest corner of the airport. WashDOT's Lauren McLaughlin says about 17,000 vehicles a day have been using this new road every day.
Definitely people are using it. They're checking it out. We've heard from some people that it's a nice little quick jump right off I-5 to their house or to their community. So there's definitely some fans of it.
But that will likely change on Monday. That's when tolling on this road begins.
As with any toll facility, that first little chunk, there's always some people who are excited to use it but aren't going to use it when it's tolled, and do come back and use it once they see, hey, this actually makes a lot of sense for me. This makes it easier for my travels, my commute.
The tolls will run from $1.20 to $2.40 with a good-to-go pass depending on the time of day and the direction of travel. That's somewhat unique for the state's facilities. The Max 240 toll will only be charged northbound during the morning commute and only charged southbound in the afternoon commute, matching the expected usage on the road. So it doesn't go all the way across like it does on 520 or 99. Now, you can find all the hours and the tolling information up at mynorthwest.com. There is no HOV availability on this new road. Everybody has to pay the toll. The price goes up and down depending on how many axles you have as well. So you will pay more if you're driving a big rig or towing a trailer. You will need a sticker pass to use the corridor. If you don't, you'll be charged an extra $2 for pay by mail. McLaughlin says WashDOT is offering a limited number of free passes.
We do have a limited supply, and it's one per household. So, if you have multiple cars, you gotta pick your favorite one there or purchase others, but you do get one for free.
A sticker pass costs you $5 plus tax. You can pick them up at many local stores. McLaughlin says you shouldn't wait, though, to open an account.
People always kind of wait till that last minute to open an account or buy a pass, so it will be a little busy at our customer service center in that first week or so. If you have time to prepare now, I'd encourage you to do it, but also be a little patient as everyone rushes to get that taken care of on the first day.
Now, as I said, I spent a lot of time down there yesterday driving around, and this is kind of odd, this little expressway, because I was driving southbound on I-5 expecting to get off on 509. Well, you can't. There's no access to 509 or this new expressway from southbound I-5. It just doesn't exist. You go right past the you go right past it right to 516.
Yeah.
And there is no access to northbound I-5 from 509. It just goes immediately right southbound. So just keep that in mind. It's not a full, you can only access it from certain places. So that's kind of odd. The rest of the expressway is expected to open in 2028. And again, it's only a mile. It seems like you're barely there, and they're going to be charging you up to $240 for a segment of road that really is not very long.
Okay, so I have to remember that we're always on camera now, and that's because you might have seen me making a couple faces during this.
Yeah, I noticed. I was like,
I don't get it. Why? What is this road for, and why would I pay to take this 1 mile stretch?
You probably wouldn't. And most people probably won't. It provides a really quick access to just kind of some spots right there. But when it opens in 3 years, it might make some sense for people who live in Burien, because now they won't have to drive over 518 and then down I-5. They can just go straight out of Burien, where 509 ends, on the backside of the airport, and have direct access to I-5. This is really designated to provide direct access back and forth without really having to drive around the airport to get where you need to go. Say you are going to Soto, or you're going and you want to go through, through Burien or places like that. It provides a different access point and more direct access for people not having to go all the way around.
Well, my neighborhood could sure use some direct access. Would they do that for me too?
Well, maybe, but that's not part of the new Gateway project, of which this is a part. But yeah, it does seem kind of like a dangling end, but it does connect 509 where it ends.
Okay, and maybe this is like a good thing for truckers? Is that what I hear?
Yeah, that's probably running there. Yeah, there's a lot of freight that goes in there.
Yeah.
What it might provide you, too, is you might be able to get into the airport by a little easier from the south end.
Oh, that would be nice.
Now, so you could go up. It doesn't have a direct access off to International, but you can get around and maybe save some time without having to drive all the way up to 518, getting into that, the big traffic mess there at South Center, and then getting west on 518 and then back into the airport. It provides an access to the south end of the airport in a way, so that gives travelers up from, say, Tacoma a little faster trip potentially into the airport from the other side.
But that's not open yet.
No, that won't be open until 2028.
So I can't pay for that now.
Well, you could. I mean, if you want to go drive this corridor and pay a whole bunch, that money will go back to paying for the next 2 miles. If you want to pay it on the front, if you want to pay it forward and pay it on the front end, you can. But yeah, I just don't see the appeal right now.
Okay.
Because it's just such a short little spot. And again, it's up to $240 to drive it. I mean, maybe in a pinch you could, but again, it's just a little mile. In 2 years, 3 years, it might make sense to drive it, but right now, I know I probably wouldn't use it.
Here's what I would do. I'm thinking of Dave Ross right now. Here's what Dave would say. He would say, hey, if you want to do your part to help out with the state transportation budget, make sure they have all the money they want. You go drive on 509, and you're basically donating and helping them out.
Right, but if you think about it, we already have plenty of money for the Department of Transportation.
Do we?
It's just not given to them by the legislature. It's given to other things that don't necessarily go to the road. Kind of like the CCA. Doesn't do anything for the roads either. So they have plenty of money. They just may not be using it properly.
All right.
Off my soapbox.
And,
look at what you do to me. You goad me in. I am so gullible. You play the straight man, and I go diving right into the muck. Well done.
You're welcome. Now, what I need you to do, I need you to clear your mind, eliminate thoughts of 509, because we need to look at what's happening on traffic right now.
Yeah, and it's really the 167 show. Again, because of that bridge strike that's probably going to be with us for a while. We've got a 4-mile backup on northbound 167 from Sumner all the way up to Pacific, right there before Ellingson, where we lose those 2 left lanes. And so we're looking at an hour drive from Puyallup into the Renton area. East Valley Highway is just bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper all the way coming up out of the Sumner area. And so it is not a joy to get out that way. West Valley Highway, also the same thing. We're also looking at a lot of people diverting again today using I-5. And so we're really thick through Fife. It's about a half an hour now to get you up into Federal Way out of Tacoma. 15 minutes behind schedule there. And then Federal Way to Seattle's about 42 minutes. The drive from Renton to Bellevue, we're starting to see brake lights there. 20 minutes on that drive. Coming down from the north end, over 40 now from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue with brake lights in Mount Lake Terrace and in Canyon Park. Lake bridges, though, are in okay shape. Olympia to Tacoma has no issues. This report brought to you by Washington 811. If you're digging in your yard, the law requires you to call 811 to avoid dangerous and costly damage to utility lines. Call 811 or submit online, digsafewa.com.
Partly cloudy today. We're headed for a high of 65, 68 for our high on Friday, tomorrow. Saturday looks to be 70 and mostly cloudy. Same sort of deal for Sunday. Right now in Seattle, it is 50. And coming up, we head back down to T-Mobile Park, Soto, as we are feeling the love for the Mariners. They have clinched the AL West. Luke Ducey with his live report coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
So what will you have today? Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry?
When it comes to picking ice cream, there are lots of choices, and they all look and sound so good. Choosing a Medicare plan is a lot like that. So many options, all sound good. But if you pick a plan that's not right for you, there can be serious consequences. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Open enrollment season is right around the corner, and you're going to be inundated with advertisements encouraging you to choose this Medicare Advantage plan or that one. Maybe the best choice for you is traditional Medicare. To make an informed decision, you need to do your homework. The Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program has a free Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit to get you started.
This is Insurance Commissioner Patty Kuderer. Our Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit has a checklist of 7 easy steps to help you decide which Medicare plan is right for you.
Order your free toolkit today at insurance.wa.gov. That's insurance.wa.gov. Or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center. Then go get an ice cream.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure.
Now, 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's G. Scott. School's back, and it's time to rally for the campaign to keep kids healthy. Donate at Safeway checkout to help families afford fresh fruits and veggies. With SNAP Produce Match, every dollar goes twice as far. Learn more at your neighborhood Safeway.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's Morning News.
Good morning, 6:31. Manda has the day off. I'm Charlie Harger. It was a historic night for the Mariners as the team captured a division title for the first time in 24 years. City still buzzing with excitement this morning. Our Luke Ducey is outside T-Mobile Park in Soto, where the celebration took place last night. Good morning, Luke.
Good morning, everyone. It is a great morning. A celebration last night, but and there's no one here, but it's still kind of a buzz going on. Stadium roof is closed, but the lights are still on. You might hear a leaf blower here and there as they're cleaning up, getting ready for tonight's game. And, hey, if you're driving to work right now on I-5 or 99, take a look up. Look over at the stadium. You can see that big blue W on the stadium roof. What a night as the Mariners clinched the division title in style, crushing the Colorado Rockies 9-2, and here was the reaction from fans.
We brought the entire family here, so we're super excited from Arlington, Washington. So it's amazing. We've been fans for years.
Yeah, Charlie, you said it. This is the Mariners' first AL West title in more than 2 decades. They're advancing to the playoffs for only the 4th time in 26 years, and they are cooking at the right time. Last night, home runs by Julio, Polanco, Gino Suarez hit one out as well. Luis Castillo was electric on the mound last night. 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, and only allowed 1 run. But the big story, the front runner for MVP, Cal Raleigh, hit homers number 59 and 60, tying Babe Ruth's single-season mark, only 1 away from Roger Maris. Charlie, Sully, and David, I know you're a huge M's fan, been waiting for this day for a long, long time. Selfishly, I wanted to come I wanted them to clinch tonight because I'm coming to the game tonight. But instead, but I'll take it. I'll take it, and instead I'll be here celebrating with everyone else and with the dogs. Tonight is Bark at the Park night. And you know what? This game tonight is sold out. When was the last time there was a Mariners game sold out? What a buzz. What a buzz.
All right, Luke, thank you so much for that. We'll be checking in with you throughout the morning here on Seattle's Morning News. The mother of a missing girl, Oakley Carson, has been released from federal custody. Department of Corrections says Jordan Bauer has served time for identity theft and was released from the Washington Correction Center for Women. Oakley was last seen in 2021 at age 4. Jeremy Holmes in the Grays Harbor County Sheriff's Office spoke to KIRO News Radio.
For the team, I know the team, it's been stressful for them. It's one of those things. It's it's always, they've got cases that come in on a daily basis, but it's always in the back of their mind. And that's one of those cases that's a top priority for them.
Her parents, including Bowers, remain people of interest in her disappearance. No charges have been filed. The Grays Harbor County Sheriff's Office is still looking for tips. Well, 2 bridge strikes in close proximity are causing big traffic disruptions in South King County and North Pierce County. SR 167 down to one northbound lane after a truck with an overheight load hit the bridge. That road also part of the detour for the damaged 410 bridge, which has been shut down since the semi hit it August 18th.
These ones are close together, so there is that added impact.
WashDOT's R.B. McKeon says the 167 bridge will likely need a girder replacement. No word how long that'll take. White River Bridge won't open until late October or early November. Sully is at the traffic desk, and I know this has been a big part of your coverage the past 24 hours or so.
Yeah, and it will continue to be so because we know how long it can take, even with emergencies, to get bridges like that. And from the damage we saw to that concrete girder, this is not going to be an easy fix. We've got about a 4-mile backup right now on northbound 167, basically from Sumner all the way up into and through that area. It's an hour, maybe an hour and 10 from Puyallup to Renton at this point. That's about a 30-minute delay. Also getting reports there might actually be a crash on 167 northbound right there at Sumner as well, just to pour salt in the wound. And as you know, living down there, all the side roads are now caught up in this as well. And we're up to 30 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way because of all the diversion. I mean, it's bumper to bumper there, and that's going to be the case too. 30 minutes to get you up to Federal Way. Renton to Bellevue's got about a 25-minute trip now. Federal Way to Seattle's getting closer to 50 as we see brake lights getting into downtown. We might have a new crash right as you get towards Yesler that's kind of backing us up a lot faster than we should. Coming down from the north end, we're looking at 45 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. The Lake Bridges are still doing okay. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. You can learn more at globalcu.org.
Forecast looks like we'll be a bit cooler today, but it'll still be partly to mostly sunny in Seattle. High of 65 today, 68 tomorrow, 70 on Saturday and Sunday, but a few more clouds, and we're getting the next couple of days over the weekend. So right now in Seattle, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 50. And at 6:36, it's time for the opening bell report. A major surprise for the U.S. economy. CBS's Jason Brooks has details.
The government revised second quarter GDP up to 3.8% from 3.3%. An eye-opener for investors after the market anticipated no change. But weakening imports and stronger consumer spending helped boost the overall number. Other economic signals are also glowing, with an unexpected drop in unemployment claims and a big rebound in durable goods orders in August from the previous month, thanks to strong demand for transportation equipment and aircraft. Those readings and the Fed's preferred inflation gauge due this Friday will factor heavily in next month's Fed meeting.
Now, making national news today, Starbucks laying off about 900 corporate employees and closing about 1% of its North American stores. That's on top of the 1,000 layoffs announced earlier this year. Most of the cuts are in North America, presumably Seattle greatly affected. A lot of open jobs being eliminated. Starbucks says it'll let employees know tomorrow morning if they're losing their jobs. The new CEO says the company is shifting resources to improve its cafes. Some stores didn't meet quality standards or weren't profitable. They are being shut down. They also plan on adding locations again in its new fiscal year. A longtime Lakewood favorite is closing its doors for good. The Ram restaurant will serve its final meal tomorrow night. It's been part of the community since 1971. The company says it tried to adapt to the Lakewood market, couldn't make it work. Company representative told the News Tribune the lease is ending. They chose not to renew. Staff may be transferred to other Ram locations. Positive sign in the housing market. The latest government report says new home sales last month jumped 20% compared to July. That's a bigger increase than expected. Also a 3-year high. Here's CBS's Jill Schlesinger.
Mortgage rates were at almost 8% 2 years ago, 7% earlier this year. Now we're at about 6.25%. We have a new survey from Bankrate that said 5% is sort of the magic number because 5% is the mortgage rate for a 30-year loan where more buyers could jump in and feel more affordable. But with a seller, imagine you're a seller, you're busting at the seams, you're a young family, you want to trade up, but you've got a 3% loan. At 5%, you might be much more willing to list your home.
President Trump expected to sign a TikTok deal today.
The administration has teased for days that a deal was being finalized between U.S. officials and China. And now a White House official confirms that the president will sign an executive order today, stating it does meet the requirements of a 2024 law. Under the new deal, TikTok's U.S. operations would be run by a new joint venture company, including Oracle serving as the security provider. Oracle's owner is the father of the CEO of Paramount Skydance, the parent company of CBS. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
If you're hoping to make some extra money with a holiday job this year, CBS's Michael Toscano reports you may find it more difficult to find one.
Retailers around the U.S. are expected to sharply reduce the number of workers they add for the holidays this year, a shift from their usual seasonal hiring spree. Outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas blames the weak demand on companies bearing heavier costs from U.S. tariffs on foreign goods, as well as rising inflation and companies' growing reliance on technology to improve efficiency. The firm expects retail hiring for the holidays to fall to its lowest level since 2009, when the economy was just emerging from a recession. Michael Toscano, CBS News.
Wall Street, all the indexes are opening low. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 146 points. That's 0.3%. S&P 500 is off by 52 points. That's 0.8%. And the NASDAQ is seeing the most significant drops. It is down 271 points. That's 1.2%. Now, a word for KIRO 7 News, live starting at 4. It's news that puts you there so you can see for yourself. News that's happening now so you're ready. News that investigates to get you answers. News that's local because where you live matters. Know more, know now on KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 p.m. All right, traffic is coming up. Sully, where will we start?
Well, we're going to keep all of our eyes in Puyallup because of the bridge strike crash and also 2 other crashes. This one in the southbound direction. We'll break it down for you next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
Hey, that energy, that sensation we're all feeling right now, that's playoff fever.
Let's just talk about these Mariners.
They're the talk of the town.
They've won 14 of 15 games.
Can we just talk about that catch by Robles?
A season-saving catch by Victor Robles.
KIRO Newsradio has all the Mariners buzz.
It's just kind of unbelievable.
And our partner Seattle Sports has the games. Listen free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Brock Heward. My family did it, and it saved us thousands. You got to do it. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It's free. See how much First Mark can save you and how much better coverage you can get. They work for you. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling soon. Free good-to-go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
GLP-1 weight loss medications are powerful, but without medical oversight, they can also be risky. At Longevity Medical Clinics, we don't believe in shortcuts. We believe in real medicine, real monitoring, and real results. Our GLP-1 weight loss program is personalized to your biology with lab work, ongoing adjustments, and medical professionals guiding you every step of the way. Here's the truth. These medications can suppress appetite and help you lose weight. But if no one is monitoring your heart, your blood sugar, or your overall health, you could be putting your body at risk. That's why we test, track, and fine-tune so your results are safe and sustainable. If you're serious about losing weight and you want to do it the right way, Longevity Medical Clinic is here to help. We combine the power of modern medicine with the confidence of medical oversight so you can focus on feeling better, stronger, and healthier. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com to schedule your free health analysis. Longevity Medical Clinics.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The Dining District at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/Dining District.
6:43 now, and Sully is watching the roads.
All right, we've got a couple of crashes to tell you about, but I'm going to start first with the bridge strike issue that we've been dealing with on northbound 167. We continue to only have the far right lane open as you make your way up towards Ellingson. A 4-mile backup, 30-minute delay. It's an hour and 10-minute trip from Puyallup into Renton. We've had 2 crashes, though, on southbound 167, both kind of in that same general area. One as you get over towards Meridian, which is clearing, but then this other one that just happened involving a semi and a car is blocking basically most of the road. You can kind of get by on the left-hand side as you work your way around this. That one's right at Sumner. Again, those are both in the southbound direction. Now, because of the bridge strike, a lot of people have gone over to I-5 as their primary detour. I get it. But it's running 35 minutes now, Tacoma to Federal Way. That is plus 15 at this point. And then Renton to Bellevue is really filling in. We're getting closer to a half an hour. Federal Way to Seattle's well over an hour now. We've got a crash right as you get up past, right before Seneca, actually in the right-hand lane. Not a good spot for one, and we're backed up all the way to the Boeing Access Road. Give yourself, I'm going to put it at about an hour right now. So we've jumped up 20 minutes just in the last little bit. Across the lake, we're still doing really well. Coming down from the north end, we're hanging in there. 45-minute trips from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service, 98 years servicing quality uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Call Superior Linen Service. They answer the phone, or visit suplinen.com.
Partly to mostly sunny today, a high of 65, pushing 70 tomorrow. We stay dry through the weekend with highs in the low 70s. Right now in Seattle, it's clear and 50. An auction house in London is selling what it calls one of the world's most valuable coins. Here's KIRO Newsradio's Katrina Gishard.
And it's a tribute to Queen Elizabeth, and it goes on sale today. Aaron Carter is with a Stanley Gibbons Baldwin auction in London.
It's roughly the size of a basketball, 3.6 kilograms of gold. It's 6,500 diamonds. They've been created in tribute to the celebration of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
And it weighs almost 8 pounds. He says it's the only one made, and the bidding starts around a whopping $4 million.
Okay, but it's the size of a basketball, and it's gold and diamonds.
Yeah, so you're not going to carry this around.
Well,
I can't put that in a Coke machine.
No.
Wow, that's a large coin.
For sure. All right. Well, thank you, Katrina. Wow. And now word for the Seattle Seahawks. The season is underway. We want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks' 50th season celebration game on October 5th. All you need to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, simply text APP to 888-973-5476. We'll send you a link to download. You can enter daily to increase your chances to win. Contest runs through Monday, September 29th.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Costco, Hagen's, or Whole Foods. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Start having fun. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Tune in each Tuesday morning for KIRO's Financial Update, sponsored by Madrona Financial. Each Tuesday at 6:45, Charlie Harger talks with CPA Brian Evans about what's going on in the financial world and how that affects you. Get the latest information and updates that impact your ability to navigate these financial times. Charlie and Brian discuss the stock market, retirement planning, interest rates, and anything else that will help you understand what's going on in your financial life. Tune in every Tuesday morning at 6:45.
RV buyers, don't miss the Northwest Fall RV Show at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds, the last major RV event of the season, with acres of new and used RVs to explore. New 2026 floor plans, 2025 model liquidation with savings up to 50%. New trailers as low as $12,995. Special event financing, free parking and admission. September 25th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. NWFallRVShow.com. That's NWFallRVShow.com. News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Thanks for joining us today. Lawmakers in the nation's capital bracing for a government shutdown. This after President Trump canceled a meeting planned for today with Democratic leadership. And covering this story for thehill.com is Alexander Bolton. Good morning, Alex. Bring us up to speed. This meeting canceled today, and it looks like none others are scheduled.
That's right. The President Trump canceled the meeting earlier this week on Truth Social, said that he thought it would be a waste of time, and that caught Democratic leaders by surprise. The president was supposed to meet today with Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer and House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. The GOP leadership was supposed to attend as well. That's Senate Majority Leader John Thune and the Speaker Mike Johnson. But as John Thune, the Republican Senate leader, said yesterday in a CNN interview, he said that the Democratic requests are unhinged. And President Trump, I think, is taking that same view, that the Democrats are asking for too much. What they're asking for specifically is a permanent extension of the expiring Affordable Care Act health insurance premium subsidies, as well as a restoration of nearly $1 trillion in Medicaid cuts. Democrats warn that if these steps are not taken, people are going to see their health insurance premiums rise by hundreds of dollars starting next year.
Alex, what does this look like in terms of affecting people? You hear about these back and forth between the Democrats and Republicans, but we're talking layoffs. We're talking people not getting services they may have come to count on from the government.
Well, President Trump, through his White House budget office, circulated a memo Wednesday evening warning that the agencies should be prepared or should use the opportunity of a shutdown to engage in something called reductions in force. So there could be mass firings of thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of federal employees, depending on how aggressive the administration wants to get. Now, Schumer, the Senate Democratic leader, called the move an intimidation tactic and said that the courts would reverse any mass firings. But, you know, the courts have not really stood in the way of what Trump has done. And even when they have ruled some actions illegal, it hasn't, reversed what the president has done. So I think, people are concerned about the prospect of additional layoffs. The administration has already conducted several rounds of reductions in force. And so if a government program's funding is going to lapse at the end of this month, and it's doing work that the administration or the White House does not consider a priority, I think those workers could be at risk. So the stakes are very high, and the likelihood of a shutdown at this point seems very high.
So you write about this in thehill.com. One of the things you say is the president is prepared to make the shutdown as painful as possible for the Democrats. And I hear you saying that these layoffs may not just be temporary. They may be permanent?
Well, a reduction in force is a permanent layoff. I mean, we have seen that throughout the first several months of this administration. They have employed reductions in force to, fire longtime federal employees. Now, sometimes they have, hired back to fill those positions, but people who have spent, years, even decades in public service, they may wind up losing their jobs and they may not get hired back. So, for people in Washington, D.C. who've spent their life working in the federal government, it's a very big deal. And, there are, of course, federal employees all around the country. Now, a lot depends on, what they're doing. But if they're working on something, let's say, environmentally related, climate related, social justice programs, maybe even some social welfare programs, I think what the Office of Management and Budget, that's the White House Budget Director, what they're saying is that, this could be an opportunity to clean house in those programs that have never had a lot of support among the MAGA set or more conservative Republicans. So it's a big threat, and it's something that Schumer, the Democratic leader, warned could happen in March. That's why Democrats went along with a partisan funding bill in March, because they thought that a shutdown could empower Trump to really, rearrange and furlough and fire a bunch of federal workers. And there's some Democrats who still think that may happen. John Fetterman, a freshman Democrat from Pennsylvania, John Fetterman, told me that this would allow Trump, if there is a shutdown, to really implement the Project 2025, and that is the conservative blueprint for overhauling government that got a lot of attention during the 2024 presidential campaign.
All right, Alexander Bolton from thehill.com. You have the report up now. Buckle up. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Okay, 6:54. Let's check in with Sully at the traffic desk.
Hour and 10-minute trip, y'all, up to Renton because of the bridge strike, closure of 2 lanes there as you get up into Ellingson and Pacific. A lot of diversion over to I-5 and Tacoma to Federal Ways, running about 15 minutes behind schedule at a half an hour. And we've just added a new crash by the Dome in the HOV lane. Also about an hour and 10 minutes up into Seattle because of a crash near Seneca. North End Drive looks relatively okay. This report brought to you by Washington 811. Digging in your yard, the law requires you to call 811 to avoid dangerous and costly damage. Call 811 or submit online, digsafewa.com.
Partly sunny this afternoon, a high of 65. And coming up, you don't want to miss this. You heard him calling last night's historic Mariners game. Rick Rizzo joins us live at 7:15 here on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you. Because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Care Partners Senior Living is growing. Amanda here. We are very excited to introduce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, and North Creek Bothell, bringing compassionate, quality care at an affordable price, closer to more of you. Visit carepartnersliving.com today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A dramatic upgrade on growth. The Commerce Department's revised reading shows the economy expanded at a surprising rate of 3.8% from April through June. Economist Gus Fauché.
So the economy looks even stronger in the spring, early summer of 2020-25 than we initially thought. There was an upward revision, particularly to consumer spending. So we continue to see consumers increase their spending, at least through the middle of this year.
Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas is addressing the UN General Assembly via video right now. He called on all countries to recognize a Palestinian state and assured through an interpreter,
we are ready to bear full responsibility for governance and security there. Hamas will not have a role to play in governance.
He condemned the October 7th attack against Israel. Sources tell CBS News federal prosecutors will make a decision on whether to comply with an order from President Trump to indict former FBI Director James Comey before the statute of limitations expires next week. Former Justice Department official Tom Dupree.
What is different about this case is that there clearly has been significant presidential pressure brought to bear, and you don't want a universe in which that pressure distorts the prosecutorial judgment.
Trump allies have accused Comey of lying to Congress 5 years ago when he testified about Russian interference in the 2016 election. 2 students at Syracuse University have been charged with a hate crime for disrupting a holiday observance at a Jewish frat.
Witnesses say one suspect entered the Jewish fraternity house and threw an open bag of pork inside during Rosh Hashanah observances for the Jewish New Year. A second suspect is accused of driving a getaway car. Brian Raphael is president of the group End Anti-Semitism Now.
It's really upsetting and very frightening for the whole community that this can happen.
The DA says the religious implications of pork being thrown into a Jewish fraternity house make this a hate crime, not a college prank. The 2 suspects are Syracuse University sophomores. Peter King, CBS News, Canastota, New York.
In Paris,
Je suis donc condamné.
70-year-old former French President Nicolas Sarkozy says he'll sleep in prison with his head held high after he was convicted of receiving millions of euros for an early 2000s political campaign from Muammar Gaddafi's Libyan regime. The BBC's Hugh Schofield. was in the courtroom.
Not only was the former president sent to jail, but the particularly harsh terms of the sentence mean he should now be incarcerated even if he lodges an appeal.
And he says he will. Dow down 200. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's 7:03. Let's check in with Sully at the traffic desk.
And our struggle out of Pierce County is going to be with us for a while because of that overheight truck that hit the bridge up near Ellingson on northbound 167. Still only have the right lane blocked, bumper to bumper out of Sumner. Hour and 10-minute trip from Puyallup up into Renton. About a 30-minute delay over what you might expect. Good news down in that general area. We have cleared the second crash on southbound 167 right there at 410 in Sumner. So that's positive. If you're continuing up the corridor, Renton to Bellevue's about a half an hour. In downtown Tacoma, or right there at 705, we've got a crash with a lot of fire and emergency vehicles there blocking the HOV lane on northbound 5. And then we have the normal stuff up the 5 Hill to 18. Well, not really normal. That's taking a lot of diversion from 167. 35 minutes now from Tacoma to Federal Way. That is about a 15-minute delay for you. And then Federal Way to Seattle is running at an hour and 10, with 45 of those minutes getting you into Seattle. We've been dealing with a crash on northbound 5 right at Seneca, and we might have a new one right by the West Seattle Bridge, so it is not going to be nice heading north. Coming down from the north end, we're not too bad. About an hour drive from Everett to Bellevue, 48 minutes from Everett to Seattle. The lake bridges are fine. This report brought to you by Subaru Puyallup. Headed to work. Subaru Puyallup Service Department opens at 5 a.m., 6 days a week. Expert technicians who can care for your car. Subaru Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's Morning News.
Holy smokes, where is this going to land? Upper deck, right field. Number 59 for Cal Raleigh. He has just tied Babe Ruth for the most home runs in a single season in American League history. Swinging a drive deep to right field. There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
So, yeah, it was a pretty good game. Pretty good for the Mariners last night as the team captured a division title for the first time in 24 years. We're all buzzing with excitement this morning. And our Luke Ducey is outside T-Mobile Park in Soto right now where that celebration took place last night. Luke?
Hey, I'm curious about your all's reaction. I was just over them. I couldn't believe it. I mean, Cal Raleigh was on fire, but what was your reaction when you saw the home run? You knew they were in the playoffs.
When I woke up and I saw the text message from several friends where it said 60, I'm like, wait, 60? He was at 58 before the game yesterday. It was nuts, Luke.
Yeah, we were joking in the newsroom yesterday like he could do it. I mean, he's got plenty of time for the rest of the regular season, but in one night, oh, wow. Hey, the roof is closed here at T-Mobile Park, but the lights are on because they're getting ready for another game tonight, folks. We get to celebrate tonight. First division title for the Mariners since 2001, more than 2 decades. It's been more than 2 decades. The last time they did this, won the division, Julio was just 8 months old. The iPod had not yet been released.
Stop.
And yeah. There's one more. And yeah. Microsoft launched this new thing called the Xbox.
24 years? No way. Okay.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Of course, they got here with a huge exclamation point, crushing the Colorado Rockies last night, 9-2. As you heard, Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, hit home runs number 59 and 60. Cal is now the 7th player in Major League history to hit 60 home runs in a single season. He did it as a catcher, folks. So if he's not leading candidate for MVP, I don't know who is. And here was Cal after the game.
I'm going to be honest with you. That's crazy. 60 is, I don't know what to say. I didn't know if I was going to hit 60 in my life, but I did it like this. I mean, just tonight, what a way to do it.
And I can't share with you what he said after the game. Let's just not win. Let's just win the whole. We got
to keep our license. Got to keep our license.
But hey, Mariners advancing to the playoffs for just the 4th time in 26 seasons. Tonight, I will be at the game. I'm going. And I was hoping they would do it tonight, but I'm happy. I'm just going to celebrate. It is Bark in the Park night, so I'll be celebrating with all the doggos in the stadium. And tonight's game, by the way, is sold out. Incredible. What a season so far. It's not over yet, folks.
All right, Luke Ducey reporting live from Soto. So that's a celebration in Soto. There's also some tension in that same area. That's where Starbucks corporate headquarters are. And we learned this morning Starbucks is cutting 900 corporate jobs, closing some stores across North America. This follows 1,000 layoffs announced earlier this year. Many of those layoffs will be here in Seattle. Corporate employees were told to work from home today and tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, Starbucks plans to tell workers whether they are being laid off. Some locations didn't meet quality standards or weren't profitable. Those are being shut down. Now, a listener named Neil shared a Reddit post with us. He shows a picture of the Starbucks Reserve on Capitol Hill. It has a sign on it this morning saying they have permanently closed. WashDOT says an overheight load struck the Highway 167 bridge near Pacific, forcing lane closures. The DOT's R.B. McKeon says it's not clear if the load was unsecured or simply too tall.
Our bridges have, their clearance posted and things like that. Lots of tools on our website to help folks understand if they are above or below the clearance and, make those decisions and adjustments accordingly.
Northbound 167 has been reduced from 3 lanes to just 1. Now, 167 right now is part of the detour route for drivers who use the White River Bridge on Highway 410. The bridge that was hit by a truck last month. Crews are working daily to restore both now. Hopes to reopen 410 at the latest mid-November. Is no word how long it'll take to fix the bridge on 167.
Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's Morning News, wherever you are.
Well, good morning, Thursday, September 25th. Manda Factor has the day off, but Sully is here with producer David and Katrina Gashard out at the news desk. Nick Krasia is in the control room running the board. You've been listening to Luke Ducey down in Soto. History made last night for the Mariners as they once again punched the ticket to be playing in the American League Division Series. It's going to be fun to watch as they are the AL West champs for 2025. One of our listeners named Chris from Auburn was at the game.
It'll be a game we'll never forget. Seeing Cal Raleigh's 59th and 60th home run, winning the division, first time in 24 years. I had my arm around my son, and we're just sitting in our seats, just soaking it all in.
By the way, if you want to talk to us about the Mariners or leave us a message, we have that voicemail app on the KIRO Newsradio app. An especially good day to talk about how great the Mariners are doing and your hopes. We have the Rick Riz show coming up. David Burbank, you think you might have a couple questions for Rick?
I have been waiting for this conversation for a while.
I cannot wait. So Rick Riz will be joining us in about 5 minutes here on Seattle's Morning News. And, of course, we'll be following traffic and the other headlines of the day. It is 7-11. There is a new development in the Oakley Carlson case. She is the 4-year-old Grays Harbor County girl who disappeared in 2021. Her mom, Jordan Bowers, is now out of prison after completing a sentence for identity theft. Jeremy Holmes in the Grays Harbor County Sheriff's Office says his team continues to work the case.
Still very active. It's a top priority for us. Jordan and the biological father, Oakley's father, Andrew Carlson, remain persons of interest.
In fact, he says they are the only persons of interest. Authorities looking into the possibility of what they call a no-body homicide prosecution. A $100,000 reward is being offered for information that leads to the location and recovery of Oakley Carlson. Kittitas County deputies are investigating a medical helicopter crash. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun has details.
It happened around 11 o'clock Tuesday night near the Little Cachis camping area north of Easton. Deputies say this helicopter went down while trying to pick up an injured camper who had cut himself and was bleeding. 4 people were on board that helicopter, which tipped over when it was landing. No one got hurt, and crews drove the camper to a hospital by ambulance.
7:12 now, and it's time for a check on the weather. It's brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. A lot of good vibes about the Mariners this morning. Nick, you feeling good?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I can't wait to see him get to home run 60
73-ish, maybe.
Oh,
As long as we get above,
okay.
that's what I'm hoping for. I would just love if he also had that record. But winning the division, first round bye, that's the goal, and it's fantastic. This morning, we have clear conditions, and that's leading to some fog. So we do have quite a bit of fog out there. It's expanding now, depending on where you are. A lot of it is outside of Seattle, but we're seeing fog, and we have temps in the 50s. You will see some increasing sun and then increasing clouds. So there's a system that'll come through this afternoon. After clearing out of the fog, you're then going to see some clouds increase. So only, I would say, partly cloudy today. Highs at about 65 in Seattle, say 66 in Tacoma, 67 in Olympia, 62 in Everett. Tomorrow, we'll see a similar kind of day with some more cloud cover farther north and more sunshine farther south. Both days, there could be a few showers closer to the border, but I just don't really think there'll be much. Say upper 60s, then about 70 Saturday. Looks very similar to Friday, and Sunday looks mainly dry until late with some rain coming in. That'll lead into Monday. And for the game tonight, just some clouds. Air quality is great, and no rain. Roof will be open.
Love it. Thank you, Nick. Right now in Seattle, we have clear skies and 51. Let's head over to the traffic desk with Sully.
And I'm going to start with the northbound I-5 drive because 10 minutes ago I hinted that there was a new crash by the West Seattle Bridge. It had been blocking 2 lanes. Now it's just blocking 1. But either way, you add that to the earlier problem that we had as we worked our way past Seneca with a crash there. We've got 45 minutes to make the drive from South Center into downtown and an hour and 10 all the way from Federal Way. So not exactly a great drive there. Now to the big enchilada, which is the northbound 167 closure of 2 lanes because of that bridge strike we had yesterday, or 2 nights ago, actually. We're looking at about a 4-mile backup and a 30-minute delay. We're going to take you about an hour and 10 minutes to go from Puyallup to Renton, and then Renton to Bellevue's 35. Heavy brake lights through Tacoma, not only taking the diversion from 167, but we've also been working this crash with a lot of emergency vehicles in the HOV lane right by the Dome. 35 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way is a 20-minute delay. Lake bridges are still in fine shape. Coming down from the north end, we've got about an hour from Everett to Bellevue, but only 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle, so that's certainly positive. This report brought to you by Kia of Everett. Thinking of a Kia EV? Act fast. Thousands in tax credits ends September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for a huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
7:14, Leonardo DiCaprio just dropped a jaw-dropping reveal with the story. Here's KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gishard.
The Oscar winner stopped by the Kelsey Brothers podcast New Heights and shared this shocking advice he received very early in his career. Take a listen to this, guys.
I finally got an agent. They said, your name is too ethnic. I go, what do you mean? It's Leonardo DiCaprio. They go, no, too ethnic. They're never going to hire. Your new name is Lenny Williams. I said, what is Lenny? I was 12, 30. I said, what is Lenny Williams? So we took your middle name and we made it now you're Lenny. And my dad saw his photo, ripped it up, and he said, over my dead body.
I don't think Lenny Williams has the same ring.
No, Lenny Williams. I'm glad he stuck with the real name. Thank you, Katrina. 7:15.
Fly ball deep to left field, and this one is goodbye baseball, and the Mariners win it.
The Rick Riz Show.
And a swing and a miss, came back with a splitter for strike 3.
The legendary Mariners broadcaster joins Seattle's Morning News to talk about the biggest stories with the Mariners.
It is grand salami time. A walk-off grand slam.
Well, Rick. Looks like you are going to have to keep joining us for the next few weeks. This is just such a great team. How are you feeling this morning?
Well, to be honest with you, it's exhilarating. I'm exhausted, but it's a great exhausted feeling because there's the joy behind that feeling. The long drive that it takes, to, get to this point for any team in baseball or basketball or football. It's a heck of a journey, and these guys keep fighting through the good times and the bad times, and they get back to the good times, and it's amazing how this club has turned things around at the end of the season, winning 16 out of 17 games. But I'm feeling great because the players are feeling great right now. They're having fun. They popped the champagne bottles not once but twice in back-to-back games 2 nights ago, winning by getting to the postseason for the first time since 2022, but winning the American League West last night, first time in 24 years. Can you imagine that? And I'm so happy for the fans. The fans came out. They were going crazy last night. I'm sure the fans that were listening on the radio were enjoying themselves. So it's just a wonderful feeling knowing that all the work, all the hard work that you put in, I'm talking about going back to the off season, the way that Jerry DiPoto and Justin Hollander, Andy McKay in the front office, the ownership group put together this baseball team, the changes that they made, that they had to make, the additions of Naylor and Eugenio Suarez and Caleb Ferguson. And the guys just got it done. And Dan Wilson, his first full season as a manager, it's just a wonderful feeling to be here at this point, knowing that you got a real good chance to get to the World Series.
Well, we heard from one of our listeners, Chris from Auburn, and he talked about being at that game with his son. Son is, a teenager. Can you maybe just talk to me about what a feeling this has to be for people who are in the stands, who are watching this? Sure, the Mariners made the playoffs a couple of years ago, but winning the AL West, what this means for fans and how important this is.
Well, it's huge because, my goodness, it's the first time in 24 years. Think about it. 24 years ago, Ichiro was a rookie. Dan Wilson was still playing for the ball club. And now 24 years later, Ichiro went in the Hall of Fame, had a Hall of Fame career, and then had to wait 5 years, to go in the Hall of Fame. So, and Dan Wilson is now the manager of the baseball team. So it means that, you, as a fan, you just don't give up, just like this team. 5 weeks ago, man, the sky was falling and the Mariners couldn't win a ball game. They were swept in Tampa Bay, and they had a rough time on back-to-back 3 long road trips to the East Coast. But they got it turned around. They had a team meeting, and they looked at one another inside the clubhouse. Obviously, we weren't in there, but they made each other accountable and said, we're a lot better than this. And they found out that they were. They started winning. They kept winning. So what it means as a fan is that, you don't give up. Heck, I grew up in Chicago. My teams were the Cubs during the day and the White Sox at night. And the Cubs, until 2016, didn't win a World Series for 108 years. And Jack Brickhouse, the longtime Hall of Fame broadcaster, said, hey, anybody can have a bad century. But, you just don't give up. And as a fan, you enjoy that with your son or your daughter at the ballpark. That's a lasting memory, not for just you, but for your kids, knowing that, okay, we're building something special here. We got something to be very, very proud of. And hopefully in the next few weeks, we're going to get everybody to the World Series. It means that they just never gave up. And I give Dan Wilson, the coaching staff, and, of course, the players all the credit. The world, Jerry DiPoto, Justin Hollander, the tools to get it done.
Rick, it does seem especially poetic that Dan is the manager, was the catcher behind the plate 24 years ago, the last time they did win the division. I've been just so astonished, impressed in Dan Wilson, seeing him, kind of some would say a lack of management experience before this past season. What does he do for this team? What has he done for that clubhouse? How does he talk to these guys that has really kind of lit this fire underneath them?
Yeah, there's so many elements to that, David, but, he just believes in the guys, number one, and lets the guys play. Make sure that they show up and work hard and do all those things. But Dan knows that a lot of these guys in this lineup, they've been there and done it. Randy Rosarena, Cal Raleigh got us to the playoffs 3 years ago. Julio Rodriguez, part of that team, and Josh Naylor, right down the order, Suarez. And then you had the kids, Dom Canzone, who's having a fantastic year. He allows the guys to play. And if you play and you're hitting, you're going to be in the lineup. And the coaches have been amazing, getting these guys ready each and every day. The guys who put together the scouting reports. But Dan Wilson, when you think about it, learned at the heels of one of the greatest managers in the history of our franchise and one of the best managers in the Hall of Fame, or should be in the Hall of Fame, Lou Piniella. He was a catcher for Lou Piniella. He taught him how to run a game. And as a manager, that's what you do alongside your pitching coach, alongside your bench coach, with Pete Woodworth, pitching coach, with your bench coach, Manny Acta. You have to navigate each and every game. That's why the job is so tough. But Danny learned, from Lou Piniella. And as a catcher, you're calling the game, you're running the game, you're trying to do your best to get your pitcher through a tough time. You're trying to get your pitcher, when he's pitching well, to as close to the finish line as possible. And now Cal Raleigh, we haven't talked about Cal yet. I want to talk about him. Yeah. Cal is now doing that. But Dan Wilson, I told Danny at spring training, he took over the ball club last year on August the 22nd. And the ball club was really struggling. They were hitting .214 as a team. Edgar comes along as the hitting coach. The last 34 games of the year, they hit .264. They go 21-13 with Dan Wilson as the manager. So something special was there. They were listening to him. He came in. He doesn't do any yelling or screaming. He shows them the right way to get ready for a ball game. He shows them the right way how to win a ball game. And then he took it into spring training, got off to a good start. They were 18-12 in March and April. They were a game under 500 in May and June. Then, 3 games over 500 in July, 3 games over 500 in August, with the dog days come along. And now in September, what are they in September? 16-4. So Danny Wilson knows these guys, and he lets them play and he lets them have fun. And he should be the American League Manager of the Year. Stephen Vogt did it last year, first-year manager. He was the American League Manager of the Year, taking Cleveland, to the postseason. I can't say enough great things about Danny Wilson.
Okay, real quick, Rick, before we let you go, first of all, the Mariners are going to try to get the second seed tonight, meaning they would get a first-round bye in the playoffs. What do you think of the odds of that? Second, though, what are the odds of Cal maybe getting 2 more home runs and putting him in a very special category?
I was thinking he would get 2 home runs last night, and he did, to tie Babe Ruth. Can you believe that? He's a catcher.
Unreal.
Cal gets beat up every day with foul balls and pitches in the dirt and calling pitches and throwing out runners. No catcher in history of the game of baseball of the last 140 years has done this. He has tied Babe Ruth, I'm going to say it again and again, for the 3rd most home runs in the history of the American League. Roger Maris hit 61. Aaron Judge with 62 home runs in 2022. He's got to be the American League MVP. Period. What he does, in the history that he has, done this year, moving by Mickey Mantle and Ken Griffey Jr. for the most home runs in a single season. They're ready to do it. To answer your question, they're ready to do it. They just need one more win to get that second seed. That would give them a bye in the playoffs. They wouldn't have to play in the wild card series. They could rest Brian Wu. Hopefully he's all right. They can rest that starting staff, get the relievers ready to go, and wait for the wild card winners that are left over to go ahead and do battle, and then you get ready for the American League Division Series. They'd have about 5 or 6 days off before the Division Series. So they're ready to go. This team is fired up, and they're playing the Colorado Rockies, and I think they're going to get it done. Tonight they checked off the first box 2 nights ago, get to the playoffs. Last night they checked off the second huge box, win the division, which they haven't done in 24 years. They got that. So I'm so proud of Dan. I'm so proud of these ball players and the fans that showed up last night and followed this team all season long, whether they listened on the radio, watching on TV. You guys have been amazing because you guys energize those guys. So they're going to get it done.
Well, I am looking forward, Rick, to next Thursday being the very first ever postseason Rick Ridge show here on Seattle's Morning News.
Man, I just want to talk to Rick all day next week.
I know. Rick, thanks, and go Mariners.
Hey. We got the Cheetos going. A couple fans dressed up as Cheetos fans at the ballpark last night. So the lucky Cheetos, but it's the guys. They're the ones that are getting done. Dan Wilson. So congratulations to them and the fans. It was fun last night. More fun tonight.
Rick Riz, thank you. Sully, you are watching traffic.
And we've got an hour and 10-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton, 30-minute delay because of that bridge strike issue. A lot of diversion over to I-5. We're running 35 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way. The good news is the crash by the Dome just cleared. Then Federal Way to Seattle's running an hour and 10 minutes behind schedule. The crash by the West Seattle Bridge actually cleared pretty quickly. Out of the north end, we're doing relatively normal. And across the lake, we're starting to see some eastbound slowing on 90 for construction. More on that in 10. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app and stay in the know. Get the latest about your favorite teams.
If you're thinking about renovating an attic, spending more time in your sunroom, or building onto your home, a Carrier ductless unit is the perfect solution for climate control. It's efficient, quiet, and incredibly flexible when it comes to installation because there's no ductwork required. It's just one more way we're making your home totally comfortable.
Your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer will improve your home's comfort, air quality, and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find the expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Out at the Wilcox family farm, our hens roam freely on fresh green pasture. But that means predators like coyotes and eagles are always nearby. That's where our team of Great Pyrenees help out. These gentle giants were born to protect, and they become a part of our family. Raised alongside the chickens from puppyhood, Our hens are raised humanely, our practices are organic, and our promise is simple. Fresh eggs straight from our farm to your table. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
When the weather changes, your home shouldn't be the one left unprepared. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. We offer the strongest solutions in roofing, siding, decking, windows, and gutters, made for the Pacific Northwest. And right now, get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 24 months or up to $3,000 off your next project. No gimmicks, no stress, just reliability you can count on. Visit stateroofing.com or call 866-ROOF-ROOF to schedule your free estimate day.
State Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning, and a historic night for the Mariners. The team captured a division title for the first time in 24 years. The city is buzzing with excitement this morning, and we sent KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey down to T-Mobile Park in Soto. It was a big celebration last night, Luke.
Huge celebration, and I tell you, there's a buzz around the stadium this morning. There's no one here, but, people driving by on their way to work, I can see them glancing over at the stadium. They're kind of, fist pumping a little bit to us because they got news crews here covering this. They know why we're here, because it was a historic night. What a night as the Mariners clinched that division title in style, crushing the Colorado Rockies 9-2. Fans, as you mentioned, were ecstatic last night, but last night's win meant a lot more for one of our listeners, Chris in Auburn.
I was really thinking about my dad yesterday. He passed away a couple years ago, and he loved this team too, and unforgettable. Let's keep it going. Like Cal Raleigh said, let's win the effing whole thing. Let's go M's.
Yeah, let's go M's. This is the Mariners' first AL West Division title in more than 2 decades, of course. Dan Wilson, manager of the team now, was the catcher on that team back in 2001, the last time they won the division. They are advancing to the playoffs for the 4th time, only the 4th time in 26 years. Amazing. And they were cooking last night. Last night, home runs by Julio, Polanco, Suarez hit one out. Luis Castillo was incredible on the mound. 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, only allowed 1 run. But the big story, of course, the front runner, gotta be the front runner for the American League MVP, Cal Raleigh, hit home runs number 59 and number 60, tying Babe Ruth's single season mark, only 1 away now from Roger Maris and 2 away from the American League record holder Aaron Judge. I think he can do it. Now, I will confess this, however. You all know this, Sully, Charlie, David. I was in the newsroom yesterday saying, I really hope the Mariners lose last night. And because I'm coming to the game tonight, and I wanted to see them clinch, but I'm really happy they did. I'm just going to have to be here celebrating with all the fans and all the doggos. It is Bark at the Park night tonight. Can't wait for that. And the game, by the way, is sold out. When was the last time a Mariners game was sold out? Wow. An incredible buzz here at T-Mobile. Back to you.
Luke, you could also, though, tonight be there when they seal up the second seed of first round bye. So it is still probably going to be a historic night there.
That's right. Okay. Now I'm excited. Now I'm really excited. You're right. Can you imagine a number two seed, and you skip the first round of the playoffs? Oh, I don't want to. I'm not going to say the other word. Starts with a W, ends with an S. I'm not going to say it, but I'm just telling you.
Rick
it's
said
exciting.
It's okay.
I know.
All right. Thank you, Luke. Reporting live from Soto. Let's check traffic now, and Sully is keeping an eye on things for us.
By the way, those are 2 words. W
Luke's
and
very
an S.
excited. He's
very excited. So excited he wanted the team to lose last night. Yeah. Well done. Doocy. Okay, looking at the roads right now. I promised you 10 minutes ago that I'd take a look at Mercer Island, and we are definitely seeing the backup in the eastbound direction of I-90 because of expansion joint work. 30 minutes to get you from Seattle to Bellevue is plus 15. What happened overnight, though, is they moved the construction zone over to the left side of the road, and they reopened the on-ramp from East Mercer Way. So there's a little bit of a, good news for you Mercer Island folks. Now to the Valley Freeway, where we continue to struggle with an hour and 10-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton. 4 miles of bumper-to-bumper going up through Pacific to that overpass that was hit by an overheight bridge. Only the right lane open. A lot of people have headed over to I-5, and so the Tacoma to Federal Way Drive is running at 35 minutes plus 20, and then an hour and 10-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle. So not exactly a great day. Renton to Bellevue, about 40 minutes now, and out of the north end, we are working on about an hour and 10-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. This report brought to you by Seattle Subaru Puyallup, that is. If you're heading to work, Subaru Puyallup's work department opens up at 5 a.m., 6 days a week. Expert technicians, Subaru Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
We're expecting a high of 65 with mostly sunny skies today. Right now in Seattle, it's 51.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974, this is KIRO Newsradio.
7:36 now, time for this morning's commentary. If the state budget outlook were a car dashboard, that red warning light would be blinking like crazy right now. But in Olympia, it doesn't seem like anyone's looking. Washington's chief economist delivered some rough news on Tuesday. Tax collections for the current 2-year budget are now expected to come in $412 million short. Over the next 4 years, we're expected to be over $900 million short. Here's the thing. Revenues are still growing by nearly 11%. We are taking in more tax money than ever before. So why are we in the hole? It's because we're spending even faster. Since 2013, state spending has more than doubled from $33.6 billion back then to $78 billion today. That's not inflation. It's not population growth. Caseloads for services aren't surging either. They've been flat or even declining in some cases. It's just more spending. This year alone, lawmakers approved $775 million for special education expansion, $450 million for universal pre-K pilots, $500 million for behavioral health programs, and $400 million for climate initiatives. Last year brought a $900 million forensic hospital, $698 million in housing programs, and hundreds of millions for salmon restoration and toxic cleanup. Important goals? For sure. Can we afford them all? Probably not. We also just passed the largest tax increase in state history, about $9 billion. And then revenue projections started falling. That's what happens when you raise taxes into a slowdown. Businesses adjust, people change behavior, and the economy pulls back. And the state economy isn't exactly humming. We lost over 13,000 jobs in August. Unemployment is ticking up. Consumer confidence is slipping. Home sales are down 5%. Big employers like Microsoft are trimming staff. You just heard today, Starbucks trimming staff. Moody's even put Washington on its high risk list for recession. On top of that, the Trump administration has flagged Washington as a sanctuary state that could lose federal dollars. That's potentially billions more disappearing from a budget that's already underwater. We can't tax our way out of this. When you raise taxes during a downturn, businesses have less money to hire people. Families have less to spend at local stores. That means fewer jobs, less spending, and ironically, less tax revenue. It's a downward spiral. Every small business owner struggling with payroll knows this. Every family choosing between gas and grocery knows this. Olympia apparently doesn't. Washington can still deliver the basics people count on: good schools, public safety, essential health care, roads that work. What we can't do is fund every ambitious program that sounds great in a press release, especially when spending is outrunning even strong revenue gains and the economic clouds are gathering. Smart spending isn't about being conservative or liberal. It's about the same math every household faces. When your income goes up, but your bills go up faster, something has to give. The difference is when families ignore the warning signs, they lose their credit cards. When governments ignore them, we all pay the price. The warning light is doing its job, telling us to ease off the accelerator before something breaks. The question isn't whether we'll listen. It's whether we'll listen in time. Because once you ignore enough warning lights, eventually you're walking home. And that's a commentary for September 25th. You can always weigh in. Shoot us a note on the text line. That's 888-973-5476. And you can always leave a comment at mynorthwest.com. All right, Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the impact of that bridge strike on 167. 5 Mile back up now. We'll break it down next.
Hey, that energy, that sensation we're all feeling right now, that's playoff fever.
Let's just talk about these Mariners.
They're the talk of the town.
They've won 14 of 15 games.
Can we just talk about that catch by Robles?
A season-saving catch by Victor Robles.
KIRO Newsradio has all the Mariners buzz.
It's just kind of unbelievable.
And our partner Seattle Sports has the games. Listen free on the Seattle Sports app.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on OpenSignal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just 1 day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed 1-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at ProSculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's ProSculpt.com.
7:43 now, and Chris Sullivan is at the traffic desk.
And we are certainly struggling again today, and this is probably going to be our life for a while until they find out just how long it's going to take to fix that overpass in Pacific on northbound 167. Only the right lane is open, and we are backed up 5 miles all the way into Puyallup. Hour and 15-minute trip now from Puyallup to Renton. That's at least a 30-minute delay through the area. All the side roads going northbound are also really caught up in this, as is I-5 northbound through the Tacoma Core and Fife and up to 18, and then 18 back down the hill as people try to get around this. Give yourself about 35 minutes to go from Tacoma to Federal Way. That is a 20-minute delay. Northbound I-5, really slow up through the Kent-Des Moines Road today. Still 30 minutes into South Center, then 45 from South Center up after a couple of crashes, and we've got an hour and 15-minute trip basically to get into Seattle. That's behind schedule by about 10. Renton to Bellevue's at 45 minutes now. Coming down from the north end, really heavy in Linwood on 5 and down out of 405 onto 405, Hour and 10-minute trips from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. The Lake Bridges I-90 is really heavy today, eastbound trying to get across Mercer Island. 30 minutes from Seattle to Bellevue's plus 15. That's all for expansion joint work. And for people who've been used to this the last couple of days, that you now have to jog to the right because the work zone moved overnight to the left-hand side of the freeway. We're also seeing slowing on 520 in the eastbound direction. That appears to be sun glare. This report brought to you by Kia of Everett. Thinking of a Kia EV? Act fast, thousands in tax credits. And next week, visit KiaofEverett.com for their huge selection. Kia of Everett, simple, easy, fun.
We're expecting a high of 65, partly cloudy today, 68 for a high tomorrow. We stay dry through the weekend, showers by Monday. In Seattle right now, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 52 at 7:45. And let's check in with Katrina Gashard. Sounds like country star Jelly Roll may be trading the stage for a screen again.
Yes. Okay, so after he made his acting debut on CBS's hit drama Fire Country, producers are eager to bring him back for more. Jelly Roll played Noah, a healthcare worker and former convict, in the process of turning his life around.
I can get your dad for you. Let you make that special delivery yourself. I bet he'd appreciate that personal touch.
I bet you don't know my dad.
Oh, that's a bet you'd lose today. I've been working with Mr. Walter the last couple of weeks. He's my favorite guy around here. Just can't tell the others.
Fans love Jelly Roll's gritty performance. There's no official word yet, but if he returns, I'm sure the fans are going to tune in.
Watch out, Tom Hanks and Daniel Day-Lewis. Here comes Jelly Roll.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Katrina. 7:46 now, and the Seahawks season is underway. We want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks 50th season celebration game on October 5th. All you need to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, simply text APP to 888-973-5476. We'll send you a link to download. You can enter every day to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, the 29th.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
And now, tales of another way. How long can one go on with the same scent of shower soap? Sure, sandalwood is your signature aura, but today you went tropical essence. Glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes another way is the better way, like the new SR 509 Expressway, the alternate route that'll help manage congestion on I-5 and other local roads. Tolling begins September 29th. Save $2 per toll with a Good-to-Go pass. Learn more at goodtogo509.com.
Is your business ready for the holidays? Now that school's back in session, the shopping season is coming up fast, right, Brad?
Right you are, Dave. And Wafed Bank is here to help businesses get ready. Whether you're looking to hire holiday staff, beef up your inventory, or start advertising, Wafed Bank can help make it happen with a business credit card, business loan, or line of credit.
Businesses need a lot of different tools to get the job done, and sometimes cash flow can be challenging. How can businesses make sure they're choosing the right option?
Our knowledgeable bankers can help look at individual plans and finances to go over which option might be the best fit. Wafed Bank has the tools and services to get that job done, whatever you might be looking for, including SBA lending options.
You know, there's nothing quite as reassuring as having a professional banker in your corner. Thanks, Brad. To learn more, visit wafedbank.com or visit your local branch. Discover why Wafed Bank was awarded Best Bank by Forbes and Newsweek numerous years in a row. Wafed Bank, built for business. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The markets and the economy will change, but you should always know what you can rely on from your financial advisor. I'm John Ramsire with Baird Private Wealth Management in Seattle. With deep planning and investment expertise, Baird's financial advisors have guided individuals and families through changing markets for more than 100 years. And in all that time, our guiding principle has never changed. Our clients come first, always. Discover the Baird difference at rwbaird.com/Seattle.
After 35 years in the window industry, I know choosing the right team for your window or door project is a big decision. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Treating your home with care while offering top quality products is important to me. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards, reduce noise by up to 50%, and feature low maintenance clean glass technology. Combined with our leading leak armor installation and lifetime warranty, you get protection for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
7:50 now. We are learning more about the person suspected of the fatal shooting yesterday outside an ICE facility in Dallas. And joining us with the latest is CBS Justice correspondent Scott McFarland. Scott, are we learning more about the shooter and his motives here?
So the shooter's bullet casings and bullets themselves may tell some of this. According to the FBI director, the recovered bullets on the scene, those casings, included anti-ICE messages. In fact, one of them actually said anti-ICE on them. The politics of this are going to be uncorked now. You've got accusations that one party is fomenting violence toward government more than the other. Put that aside for a moment, because in this case, you have somebody who died by suicide after targeting an immigration facility, and the shooting itself underscores a bigger issue here, which is you have increasing threats, increasing violence targeting government facilities and government officials, and you have another manifestation in short order in Dallas.
What is the sense you are getting from law enforcement? The assassination of Charlie Kirk. We have this sniper shooting, which may have been intended to hit ICE agents. What is the sense you're getting from law enforcement about this uptick in targeted killings?
Well, let's start off with what law enforcement is saying, that they're concerned about copycats. You have people putting signatures, inscriptions on their bullet casings, on their shell casings. Yeah, that could incentivize others to try to personalize attacks, murders, a horrific idea to begin with. I think what you're hearing from law enforcement experts, those not looking at these specific cases, is that this isn't quite the political violence that may be caricatured, that it's not red and blue and Democrat, Republican, that there's an extremism here that has what they call, in their words, a salad bar mentality, where you're taking little ideologies from here and then other ideologies from there and putting all of it on your plate, where you have some people maybe who are trying to oppose corporate greed or trying to oppose gun restrictions, trying to impose immigration tactics. That they're not the types of politics we talk about on the radio. It's more of a extremist ideology that can be compared with nihilism, a desire to cause chaos, a desire to disrupt, and not much they've accomplished over these last few months.
And what are we hearing from political leaders? I know the GOP is saying, well, this is a extremist from the left. Are you hearing anything from Democrats reacting to that?
Some of this is just falling into a pattern now, isn't it? You have people on one side saying the other one is incentivizing shootings and killings more than the other, or that you're not being fair to inclusive of all the attacks. I mean, here's what I've heard over the last 24 hours. Before the identity of this shooter was released, before the anti-immigration shell casings were alleged by the FBI director, you heard Republicans saying Democrats are causing our ICE agents to be targeted. You heard Democrats say Republicans are not being mindful of what happened in Minnesota, where the Democratic Speaker of the House was assassinated, or when the president has taunted House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband, who was beaten with a hammer in a politically motivated attack. The political arguments are getting useless. I think what we're hearing from the experts who know this type of thing is that this is an extremism that transcends traditional political ideology. So blaming a party is kind of a waste of time, because you have a group of young 20-something men, very online, very into gaming, very into Discord and social media, who are attacking with a desire to disrupt, who don't wear a red or blue badge.
CBS's Scott McFarland. Scott, always great hearing from you, and it's almost essential viewing on social media, McFarland News, where you really do break down all of these stories. Really appreciate your time today, Scott.
Right back at you, Charlie.
It's 7:54, and Sully, let's take a look at traffic.
And we continue to struggle across the board on this Thursday morning, especially coming up from the south end. It's going to be like that for a while until they take care of this bridge strike on northbound 167. Only the right lane is open as you get up toward Ellingson and Pacific. Hour and 10-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton. 30 of those minutes now out of Auburn, as the north end part of that drive is also really bogging down. And then Renton to Bellevue is about 45 minutes. A lot of diversion over I-5, Tacoma to Federal Way running 35 minutes. That's a 20-minute delay, and then about an hour and 10 from Federal Way to Seattle. We have issues in both directions of I-90. Both eastbound bridges are having trouble. For across Mercer Island, it's because of the expansion joint work. 35 minutes Seattle to Bellevue, 25 from over on 520 because of an earlier stall in the HOV lane, and we're up to an hour and 20 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. This traffic report brought to you by Superior Linen Service. Never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service. Hope your company look good. SUPlinen.com.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Imagine homes so well designed and so luxurious, they'll be setting the standard for decades. You're imagining a Mainview home. Now imagine a Mainview home on sale, saving $50,000 to $120,000.
Isn't that what Brett and Amy bought?
Yeah, it's a Mainview, and they saved a bundle.
What are you doing?
Looking at the Mainview website. It's now or never.
What's better than a Mainview home? A Mainview home on sale. Mainview communities across the Puget Sound.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
She and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO Newsradio.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
If you're thinking about renovating an attic, spending more time in your sunroom, or building onto your home, a Carrier ductless unit is the perfect solution for climate control. It's efficient, quiet, and incredibly flexible when it comes to installation because there's no ductwork required. It's just one more way we're making your home totally comfortable.
Your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer will improve your home's comfort, air quality, and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find the expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings. And every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at homecomfortalliance.com.
This week at Dimitro's Jazz Alley, experience guitar legend Al Di Meola live on his electric tour, Land of the Midnight Sun. Shows run this Thursday through Sunday. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, the Oregon Trio.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. The White House threatens mass firings going beyond temporary furloughs if there's a government shutdown next week. CBS's Ed O'Keefe says the showdown with congressional Democrats has intensified.
In exchange for their votes, Democrats want concessions like rolling back this year's Medicaid cuts and extending health insurance tax credits. President Trump canceled a meeting with Democratic congressional leaders that was scheduled for today, calling their demands ridiculous. Last night, those same Democratic leaders responded to the threat of layoffs, calling them an act of intimidation, and telling the administration to, quote, get lost.
New government numbers just out today indicate a 3% reduction in the federal workforce since January. On the economy, turns out growth in the second quarter of the year was better than the first estimate.
The Commerce Department revised second quarter GDP to a rate of 3.8%, up from the previous estimate of 3.3%. Consumer spending remained resilient during the second quarter, rising 2.5%.
I think maybe some of it is people are trying to buy ahead before prices go up from tariffs.
PNC Chief Economist Gus Fauché.
We do expect to see slower GDP growth in the second half of 2025 as businesses pass more of their higher tariff costs on along to consumers.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
President Trump is pushing for a criminal case against former FBI Director James Comey amid accusations he lied to Congress. CBS's Jake Rosen says the clock is ticking.
The statute of limitations would lapse on Tuesday, so we're expecting charges if they're brought before then. President Trump has been pressuring something to be done about his Justice Department investigating someone, and it appears that Comey could potentially be that first domino to fall. However, it's unclear whether they actually have the evidence to actually move forward on this investigation and get a grand jury to actually secure that indictment.
Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin says it will stop scheduling patients for abortions beginning next week as it deals with Medicaid funding cuts in the Trump tax and spending bill. The president's expected to sign an executive order today paving the way for the wrap-up of a deal to sell TikTok's U.S. assets to a group of mostly American investors. CBS's Natalie Brand.
Some analysts and lawmakers say and even worry that China could use this TikTok deal as leverage as these broader trade negotiations continue. And we know that Congress members who have raised for years concerns, national security concerns around TikTok, this popular app, will be scrutinizing the details of this deal.
Starbucks says it's laying off around 900 non-retail employees and closing some stores as it focuses more of its money on reviving the brand. Checking Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 38 points. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
It's 8:03, and we check in with Sully at the traffic desk.
And it's kind of a repeat deja vu of yesterday morning for people trying to get out of the Puyallup and Sumner area, trying to work your way up to Auburn. That bridge strike maybe with us for a long time as you go work your way up through Pacific. 5 mile backup. 30-minute delay. Same deals we saw yesterday, about an hour and 10 from Puyallup up into Renton, maybe even a little bit more. Big gap in the middle, then you hit the brakes again from 180th on in. If you're continuing up the corridor, Renton to Bellevue's running right around 45 minutes. Northbound I-5 has taken some diversion. It's not as bad as it was yesterday, getting through Tacoma and Fife. Still heavy. I mean, it's about 15 minutes behind schedule at about 35 minutes to get you from Federal Way to Seattle. Into Federal Way, then Federal Way to Seattle's an hour and 15. Across the lake, I-90 really struggling today getting across Mercer Island. Backup begins basically at Rainier Ave and goes all the way across the lake. That's because of expansion joint repair. 35 minutes from Seattle to Bellevue. The HOV lane remains blocked on eastbound 520 as you make your way across the lake. Not really having a huge impact, but adding a couple of minutes, and an hour and 20 from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. So not fun out of the north end. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors, the autumn sales event on now. Save $500 a window, $1,000 per door. Plus 0 payments, 0 interest, 12 months. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
8:04 on Thursday, September 25th, 2025. Welcome to Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger. Manda Factor has the day off, and it was a historic night for the Mariners as the team captured a division title for the first time in 24 years. People are still buzzing with excitement this morning. I know I am. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is live outside T-Mobile Park in Soto, where there was a big celebration last night, Luke.
Big celebration last night, and they're getting ready for another one tonight. The crews have been up all morning getting the stadium ready for another big game tonight. If the Mariners win tonight, they clinch the number 2 seed in the playoffs, folks, and they get a bye. Hey, Charlie and Sully, I got a question for you. David, I'd love to hear your thoughts, too. You know, the first division title since 2001 you mentioned. Do you guys remember that, 2001, the last time they won?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. In fact, I went to the last game of the regular season that year, watched them take on the Rangers and Alex Rodriguez, and we were so excited about their prospects for the playoffs, and it wasn't meant to be.
Wasn't meant to be that year, but maybe this year. You know, more than 2 decades ago, you know who didn't remember that was Cal Raleigh. He was just 4 years old at the time. Julio was 8 months old. And to give you an idea how long ago that was, Microsoft that year in 2001, they launched this new gaming console called the Xbox. You may have heard of it. Hey, the Mariners got here, though, and they got here in style with a huge, crushing blow to the Colorado Rockies. Beat them 9-2 last night. And again, Cal, the big dumper, hit home runs 59 and 60 on the season.
Holy smokes, where is this going to land? Upper deck, right field. Number 59 for Cal Raleigh. He has just tied Babe Ruth for the most home runs in a single season in American League history. Swinging a drive deep to right field. There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
I could listen to those all day long. I don't know about you. Cal is the 7th player in Major League history now to hit 60 home runs in a single season. He's just 2 away from the American League record set by Aaron Judge, 1 away from Roger Maris. He's tied with Babe Ruth's mark right now on the season, and he did it all as a catcher. If he's not MVP, I don't know who is. And here was Cal after the game.
I'm going to be honest with you, that's crazy. 60 is, I don't know what to say. I didn't know if I was going to hit 60 in my life, but I did it like this. I mean, just tonight, what a way to do it.
Mariners advancing again to the playoffs for just the 4th time in 26 seasons. Another big game tonight, though, and I'm going to be here. I know a lot of other people are, too, because the game is sold out. It is Bark at the Park night as well. So it's us and the Doggos and the Mariners all celebrating. Go M's. Wow, what a night last night. Let's hope they get that number 2 seed. Back to you.
All right, for sure. Thank you, Luke. It's 8:07 now. While there's celebration in Soto, there's also anxiety as well. That's where Starbucks is based. And if you missed it on CBS News, the company is laying off 900 more corporate workers and closing some stores, saying they're trying to cut costs and invest more in their cafes. Now, this is on top of 1,000 layoffs announced back in February. Most of the affected jobs are North America, a lot here in Seattle, a lot of open roles being eliminated too. Corporate employees were told they should work from home today and tomorrow. Starbucks says it'll tell employees tomorrow morning if they're being laid off. They've had 6 straight quarters of declining sales, and already this morning we have seen pictures of the Reserve Roastery up on Capitol Hill as a sign on the door saying they are permanently closed. Bridge strike on northbound State Route 167 near Pacific has reduced traffic to a single lane on the northbound side. WashDOT's R.B. McKeon says the damage is significant and will likely require a girder replacement. The bridge is part of the detour route for the already closed White River Bridge on Highway 410, which was struck earlier this year.
This is just a really unfortunate situation where we've had 2 bridge strikes in, kind of close proximity to each other that have taken out normal traffic flow across 2 bridges.
No word yet on how long before the 167 bridge is fixed. Crews hope to have the White River Bridge back in service by mid-November at the latest.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
The stretch. Mariners looking to wrap it up. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. The Seattle Mariners are champions in the American League West. They have powered their way to the postseason. The first division title for the Mariners since 2001. The Mariners have done it.
How cool is that? The Mariners have done it. They have won the AL West. How's it feeling for you, David Burbank? You are the super fan here.
It's surreal. We had Luke Ducey down at T-Mobile Park. He was asking what our memories were of 2001, the last time they won the division. I was 5 years old, a little older than Cal, to be fair. But yeah, I don't remember a whole ton from that season. And since then, it has been heartbreak after heartbreak. And so after all those long years of frustration, we've got it.
We have that little glimmer of hope in 2022, but yeah, it has been a long dry stretch. So let's go win this thing. Love it. Well, this is a busy morning on Seattle's Morning News. We're also, of course, getting ready for the big Seahawks game. It's Thursday night football tonight. We might ask G a question about that and the Mariners in just a little while when he stops by at 8:45. Sully, you have a choke point coming up?
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the new expressway. Call it that. It's a mile long. It opened earlier this year. Tolling, though, starts Monday. So I kind of go everything you need to know about 509, kind of the odd new expressway there down between Kent and Burien.
Okay, I was making a lot of faces when you were talking about this in the 6 a.m. hour. I realize I'm on live video, so I'll try to keep a neutral expression.
Well, that was just gas.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. It's 8:11 on Seattle's Morning News, and we are learning about ICE. It's targeting Seattle police officers with a new TV ad. It offers a $50,000 signing bonus and claims sanctuary city policies, in their words, let dangerous illegals walk free. King County Sheriff, the former King County Sheriff John Urquhart, spoke to G and Ursula yesterday. He says he has no problem with ICE trying to recruit new agents, but says he does have a problem with agencies that try to intimidate people.
Putting on a mask and dealing with the public, is that the way to do police work? And I'm here to tell you, it is not.
Mayor Bruce Harrell says Seattle won't be bullied into violating its values. An Oregon firefighter arrested by Border Patrol agents has been released from the ICE detention center in Tacoma. Lawyers for Rigoberto Hernandez argued he was unlawfully detained while fighting the Bear Gulch fire in the Olympics last month. Matt Adams is legal director for the Northwest Immigrant Rights Project.
They had arrested him simply because he refused to answer their questions. And this was despite the fact that he was targeted while working on an active wildfire.
Adams says Hernandez has lived in the U.S. since he was 4, has a pending visa. He's now back home with his family. Border agents arrested a second crew member on the Bear Gulch fire. His whereabouts are unknown. 8:12 now. Let's get a check on the weather, brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard.
Some patchy fog this morning, and then we'll see increasing sunshine. However, at the same time, you're also going to see some clouds increasing this afternoon. So don't expect widespread sunshine, but it is going to be a nice day for sure in the mid-60s. And then tomorrow, similar kind of day with some more clouds farther north, maybe a sprinkle or two, and then you'll see some highs in the upper 60s. I think you'll be in the upper 60s and lower 70s on Saturday and Sunday. You will eventually, though, see some showers developing, say, late Sunday into Monday, so it'll be a cooler and wetter day for Monday in the mid-60s. For the game tonight, just some clouds, great air quality, and the roof will be open.
Right now, it's partly cloudy and 52 in Seattle. 8:13 now, and Sully is at the traffic desk.
And we are still working with a pretty rough drive in Pierce County. The good news is the diversion to I-5 hasn't gotten as bad as we saw yesterday. I think people are trying to figure this thing out as we are kind of in a potentially long-term situation with the 2 lanes blocked on northbound 167 for that bridge strike on the overpass there as you get up towards Ellingson and Pacific. We still have about a 4.5 to 5 mile backup on northbound 167 and an hour and 10 to an hour and 15 minute trip from Puyallup to Renton. That's about 30 minutes slower than it might than you would expect if this hadn't happened. The driving through Fife and up the hill to 18 has actually picked up the pace. It's a little bit under a half an hour now. Still about 10 or 12 minutes behind schedule. What's really taking the diversion is, the West Valley Highway, the East Valley Highway, all the neighborhood streets kind of working their way up to Auburn before getting back up and on. Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour and 15 minute trip with 45 minutes of that from South Center. 45 as well through the Renton S-curves up into Bellevue. Looking at the lake bridges now, I-90 really slow because of the Mercer Island expansion joint work. Bumper to bumper from the Seattle side all the way over to the East Channel Bridge. Got about a 35-minute trip from Seattle to Bellevue is plus 20 at this point. Also seen slowing on eastbound 520, not only because of sun glare, but because the HOV lane is blocked once you get out across the lake and onto the floating bridge. Hour and a half from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue, so no fun out of Snohomish County. This report brought to you by ProSculpt, the one-day permanent fat loss and skin tightening solution for men and women. Offered by New Skin Med Spa in Bellevue. Book your free consultation, prosculpt.com.
Sully, I think Katrina sometimes is out in the newsroom and she goes to herself, can I make Charlie go full Ron Burgundy? And
sure, this is great.
Here it goes. Katrina wrote this for me to read.
Okay.
A cow in Arizona has a remarkable story. Here's KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gashard.
You did very well. I
Thank
loved
you.
it. Okay, so, and I'm going to do it too. Moo Tilda, this is her name, who escaped a local slaughterhouse, is now living her best life. Amy Takaha, the owner of a farm animal sanctuary, says she saw a social media post about the cow on the run. So Moo Tilda had trotted for several miles, but was then recaptured and taken back to the slaughterhouse. So Amy was really inspired and raised enough money to save her.
I was so excited. You could say I was deeply moved.
Oh, come on.
And so was Moo Tilda, who now moves freely on greener pastures.
I might have beef with that. Thank you, Katrina.
All right.
It's 8:16.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Let's go!
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Who would have figured that Katrina would have the dad jokes.
Probably she's just trying to fit in.
Yeah, she's doing
with
a
all the
great
terrible
job.
humor that you and I create.
Terrible humor.
Yeah, really, actually.
Highbrow, sophisticated. All right, your free taste of the new 509 Expressway about to end. The tolling on the first segment of the road begins Monday morning, Sully.
Yeah. Calling this an expressway is kind of ironic at this point because it only goes a mile, but we'll get into that in a little minute. The SRF 509 Expressway did open in June. Now, it's the first mile of this, connecting I-5 to 24th Avenue South and SeaTac. When you drive it, it really doesn't seem like you're on there very long. Eventually, the expressway will go all the way to 188th Street, connecting to where 509 ends today in Burien, kind of on the southwest corner of the airport. WashDOT's Lauren McLaughlin says about 17,000 vehicles a day are now using that road every weekday.
Definitely people are using it. They're checking it out. We've heard from some people that it's a nice little quick jump right off I-5 to their house or to their community. So there's definitely some fans of it.
But that will probably change on Monday because that's when tolling will begin.
As with any toll facility, that first little chunk, there's always some people who are excited to use it but aren't going to use it when it's tolled and do come back and use it once they see, hey, this actually makes a lot of sense for me. This makes it easier for my travels, my commute.
The tolls will run from $1.20 to $2.40 with a good-to-go pass depending on the time of day and the direction of travel. And that's what's really kind of interesting about this new toll facility is that the max $2.40 will only be charged northbound during the morning commute and only charged southbound in the afternoon commute to kind of match the expected usage on the road. It isn't uniform like we see on, say, 520. You can find all the hours and the tolling information at mynorthwest.com. There is no HOV availability on this toll road, so everybody will pay. The price also goes up depending on how many axles you have. You will pay more if you're driving a big rig or towing a trailer. You will need a sticker pass to use this corridor. If you don't, you'll be charged an extra $2 per toll. That's, of course, for pay by mail. McLaughlin says WashDOT does have a limited number of those available for free.
We do have a limited supply, and it's one per household. So, if you have multiple cars, you gotta pick your favorite one there or purchase others, but you do get one for free.
The sticker pass costs you $5 plus tax. You can pick them up at many local stores. McLaughlin says you shouldn't wait to get an account if you plan on using this.
People always kind of wait till that last minute to open an account or buy a pass, so it will be a little busy at our customer service center in that first week or so. If you have time to prepare now, I'd encourage you to do it, but also be a little patient as everyone rushes to get that taken care of on the first
I see you
day.
biting your lip and holding your I know we can get into a little bit of how silly this is, to quote Lynn and Enumclaw, but I spent most of yesterday morning kind of driving this up and down, around, on and off, and around it. And what's really interesting about this is there's no access to 509, this new one, from southbound I-5. I drove right past the exit because there isn't one. And it takes you right to the new collector distributor lanes that they built that take you to 516. And there is no access to northbound I-5 from this 509 expressway. It just keeps going. It puts you right on southbound I-5. So just keep that in mind if you plan on using it. So it's really kind of funky, a little odd. The rest of the expressway is expected to open in 2028. And now, bring it. Bring it, Charlie. I know, it does seem a little weird that, we're tolling this little section that doesn't really go anywhere and won't for 3 years.
Sully, I drive by this several times a week. I have seen this being constructed for years. So you're telling me that, I'm going by on I-5, that the people who are going to get tolled and take this only go about a mile, then they just basically get dumped off into a neighborhood?
Right, yeah, right. Actually, right there by the SeaTac federal facility, the jail there, right at the south end of the airport. Yeah, you go and just get off right at 24th. You basically go over that really beautiful overpass, go down the hill, and you get off. And then you can see where they're starting to build the extension that will eventually go along the south end of the airport and tie up to 509 where it ends in Burien. So when that's open, it might make some sense, but right now it only goes that one little bit. And Carl, who said on the text line already, he goes, because it's so small and it sets you out on a really small road, and the light, I can tell you, the light doesn't change very often.
Yeah.
It gets backed up every day already because it doesn't go very far. There's not a lot of room for the traffic to move.
So Okay, benefit of the doubt. This also, if that's by the ICE facilities, does that also put it by like the Angle Lake Light Rail Station?
Correct. It dumps you off right there, pretty much. That's just if you can go there and go up to International. Yeah, right there.
But carpools won't be able to
get it for free. No, there's no HOV discount in this. And a lot of people have already asked on the line, on the text line, well, why start tolling it now?
Yeah.
Why, maybe wait to toll it until you finish it in 2028. Well, because the tolls are going to be used to help fund that next 2 miles of construction. So they're starting it early, even though they're not finished with it. So that's the rationale there for charging you for that as you go forward. But yeah, I think it'll make some sense maybe for freight and for some airport people coming up from the south end specifically, because you won't have to go all the way up to 518 and over and down around. But again, there's no HOV benefit. That part doesn't open for another 3 years, but yet tolls start on Monday. So
Okay, maybe this. Okay, I'm just, again, Mr. Benefit of the doubt here, is basically the thinking in the state anytime we get a new roadway, highway, is going to be tolled from here on out?
Yes. Not only from a congestion pricing model, but in this case, kind of the old school way of tolling, which is it goes to pay for this facility. Like when the new 167 opens between Puyallup and I-5 in Fife, that whole section of 167 will be tolled as well. So we will have
no carpool exemption.
There probably will be on that because the hot lane, as you know, is extended all the way down through Sumner.
Sure.
So you might be able to buy your way in with a flex pass and then have a free option for HOV with a flex pass through that going forward. I believe that is the long-term plan for that, but that section will also be tolled. Yes.
So 1 mile, you get to pay for the privilege. Dumps you off in the middle of
right in the middle of a neighborhood.
Okay, and that starts Monday.
Yeah, and I drove it
on Monday
and took video through the dash cam of what it looks like to drive through it. So if, that's up at my Twitter feed, News Guy Sully. It should be up posted. Patrick's working on to get it up at mynorthwest.com to kind of show you what this looks like, so you can drive it for yourself without having to leave your car or actually get in your car.
As Tom in Bothell says on the text line, this is kind of like a restaurant charging you for your meal when they just dropped off your water.
I like it.
Yeah.
And also making you tip on the water before you even get your meal or the service as well.
As a restaurant worker, I like that.
Yeah, because then you could leave on your shift and not bring me my plate.
All right, so enough of my belly aching. Let's take a look
You're not alone. Look at the text line.
I'm just lit up.
Yeah, I'm with you.
What's going on in traffic?
Well, we're still dealing with this long-term issue on northbound 167. The right lane is the only one that's open, 1 out of 3 there as you get up into Pacific because of that earlier overpass bridge strike that we had. And so we still have a 4-mile backup and about a 30-minute delay, hour and 15 to make it from Puyallup up into Renton. Continuing up that corridor, Renton to Bellevue is really slow from 167 all the way up through 44th. A little bit more in Bellevue, 45 minutes to make that drive. Some diversion over to I-5 at this point. We're looking at Tacoma to Federal Way of about 30 minutes again, so that's about a 15-minute delay. And then Federal Way to Seattle's about an hour and 15 with 45 of those minutes from South Center. Those last couple of miles are going to be pretty rough. Across the lake, we've got almost 40 minutes now from Seattle to Bellevue on I-90 because of the expansion joint work on Mercer Island. That's a 25-minute delay. 520's got some slowing out of Montlake. The HOV lane remains blocked about mid-span. Out of the north end, an hour and 30-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Haven't paid you guys a lot of attention today, but that's relatively normal. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Partly sunny, 65 for a high today, 68 tomorrow. Dry this weekend and cloudy, highs in the low 70s. Seattle right now, we have partly sunny skies. It's 56. Coming up, we will have a live report from Soto where Luke Ducey is soaking it all in as the Mariners have clinched the AL West. This is Seattle's Morning News.
This hour is brought to you by WaFd Bank.
Hey, that energy, that sensation we're all feeling right now, that's playoff fever.
Let's just talk about these Mariners.
They're the talk of the town.
They've won 14 of 15 games.
Can we just talk about that catch by Robles?
A season-saving catch by Victor Robles.
KIRO Newsradio has all the Mariners buzz.
It's just kind of unbelievable.
And our partner Seattle Sports has the games. Listen free on the Seattle Sports app.
A serial killer on the prowl for teen girls in the Pacific Northwest. At least 2 escaped.
She literally crawled out of her grave. Just a miracle that she survived.
Hear their stories Follow Stolen Voices of Dole Valley now.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. September is a magical month for whale watching, according to the team at Puget Sound Express. This is the time of year when many whale watching cruises see a combination of Bigg's killer whales and humpback whales on the same trip. Last week, PSE Tours spotted 10 different orca families, and humpbacks are busy feeding in September and October before resuming their Pacific Ocean migrations. It's a terrific time to get on the water and see marine wildlife. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale-watching tours departing from Edmonds. These half-day tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Puget Sound Express also offers tours out of beautiful Port Townsend and Port Angeles on the Olympic Peninsula. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on OpenSignal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
This week at Dimitro's Jazz Alley, experience guitar legend Al Di Meola live on his electric tour, Land of the Midnight Sun. Shows run this Thursday through Sunday. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, the Oregon Trio.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's Morning News.
Good morning, I'm Charlie Harger. This just in, Amazon has agreed to pay $2.5 billion to settle a lawsuit with the Federal Trade Commission over Prime subscriptions. The FTC alleged Amazon made it too hard for users to cancel and enrolled some without consent. The company denies wrongdoing but says it will update its cancellation process. The Financial Times says more changes are expected in the coming months. Also new this morning, Starbucks cutting 900 corporate jobs and closing some stores across North America. This follows 1,000 layoffs announced earlier this year. And a Starbucks spokesperson confirms to KIRO Newsradio among those stores being closed is the Reserve Roastery on Capitol Hill, which has a sign out right now saying it is permanently closed. Well, it was a historic night for the Mariners as the team captured a division title for the first time in 24 years. So many people buzzing with excitement right now, and we are joined by KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey, who is live outside T-Mobile Park. Luke?
What a night for Mariners and Mariners fans as they clinched that title in style, crushing the Colorado Rockies 9-2. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, hit home runs number 59 and 60.
Holy smokes, where is this going to land? Upper deck right field. Number 59 for Cal Raleigh. He has just tied Babe Ruth for the most home runs in a single season in American League history. Swinging a drive deep to right field. There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
Modern day Bambino. I love it. You know, Cal has got to be the front runner for the American League MVP. Has to be, because he's been doing this all as a catcher as well. Again, hit homers number 59 and 60, so that ties Babe Ruth's single season mark. He's only one away from tying Roger Maris and two away from the American League record holder Aaron Judge. I think he can do it. He's got 4 games left in the season. I think it's 4 games left in the season. Got the Dodgers coming up as well after the Rockies. But again, they're playing tonight again, and the crews here have been up all morning getting the stadium ready. Fans here last night were ecstatic, but you know, last night's win also seemed to mean a lot more for one of our listeners, Chris in Auburn.
I was really thinking about my dad yesterday. He passed away a couple years ago, and he loved this team too, and unforgettable. Let's keep it going. Like Cal Raleigh said, let's win the effing whole thing. Let's go M's.
Love stories like that. By the way, Mariners, if they win tonight, they will be the number 2 seed in the playoffs, getting a bye in the first round. It's going to be a great night. I'll be here at the game. It is Bark at the Park night, so it's me, the doggos, the dog owners, and the game, by the way, guys, is sold out. Say it to yourselves. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Doesn't seem right, but the Mariners won the division. They're division champs. It's incredible.
It's so fun. Thank you, Luke. Now let's head over to Sully at the traffic desk. We still have problems in the south end?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We've got our own big dumper issues. Looking at northbound, I'm not even sure what that meant. I just really happy that Luke says that. It makes it sound so much fun. 4.5 to 5 mile backup on northbound 167. I wish I had something better for you guys. This bridge strike issue is going to be with us for a while. Only one lane is open as you get up in towards Ellingson and Pacific. Hour and 15 minutes still from Puyallup to Renton. That is about a 35-minute delay. Once you get through that, Renton to Bellevue is about 45. Northbound I-5 a little slow through Fife. It's taking diversion, but it's only 30 minutes to Federal Way, and then about an hour and 15 from Federal Way to Seattle. Out of the north end, a pretty typical day, hour and a half drives from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, maybe a little tardy for a Thursday. And both lake bridges are having problems in the eastbound direction. For I-90, it's 40 minutes to go from Seattle to Bellevue, a half an hour delay there. Well, 25 minutes really because of expansion joint issue. And 520 off and on, looks like they're doing some work in the HOV lane, so it's kind of slowly moving across the lake in the eastbound direction. This report brought to you by Kia of Everett. Thinking of a Kia EV? Act fast. Thousands of tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for a huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
Partly cloudy and 65 for a high today in Seattle.
Fly ball deep to left field. And this one is goodbye baseball. And the Mariners win it.
The Rick Riz Show.
And a swing and a miss. Came back with a splitter for strike 3.
The legendary Mariners broadcaster joins Seattle's Morning News to talk about the biggest stories with the Mariners.
It is grand salami time! A walk-off grand slam!
Well, Rick. Looks like you are going to have to keep joining us for the next few weeks. This is just such a great team. How are you feeling this morning?
Well, to be honest with you, it's exhilarating. I'm exhausted, but it's a great exhausted feeling because there's the joy behind that feeling. The long drive that it takes, to, get to this point for any team in baseball or basketball or football. It's a heck of a journey, and these guys keep fighting through the good times and the bad times, and they get back to the good times, and it's amazing how this club has turned things around at the end of the season, winning 16 out of 17 games. But I'm feeling great because the players are feeling great right now. They're having fun. They popped the champagne bottles not once but twice in back-to-back games 2 nights ago, winning by getting to the postseason for the first time since 2022. But winning the American League West last night, first time in 24 years. Can you imagine that? And I'm so happy for the fans. The fans came out. They were going crazy last night. I'm sure the fans that were listening on the radio, were enjoying themselves. So it's just a wonderful feeling knowing that all the work, all the hard work that you put in, I'm talking about going back to the off season, the way that Jerry DiPoto and Justin Hollander, Andy McKay in the front office, the ownership group put together this baseball team, the changes that they made, that they had to make, the additions of Naylor and Eugenio Suarez and Caleb Ferguson. And the guys just got it done. And Dan Wilson, his first full season as a manager, it's just a wonderful feeling to be here at this point, knowing that you got a real good chance to get to the World Series.
Rick, it does seem especially poetic that Dan is the manager, was the catcher behind the plate 24 years ago, the last time they did win the division. I've been just so astonished, impressed in Dan Wilson, seeing him, kind of some would say a lack of management experience before this past season. What does he do for this team? What has he done for that clubhouse? How does he talk to these guys that has really kind of lit this fire underneath them?
Yeah, there's so many elements to that, David, but, he just believes in the guys, number one, and lets the guys play. Make sure that they show up and work hard and do all those things. But Dan knows that a lot of these guys in this lineup, they've been there and done it. Randy Rosarena, Cal Raleigh got us to the playoffs 3 years ago. Julio Rodriguez, part of that team, and Josh Naylor right down the order, Suarez. And then you had the kids, Dom Canzone, who's having a fantastic year. He allows the guys to play. And if you play and you're hitting, you're going to be in the lineup. And the coaches have been amazing, getting these guys ready each and every day. The guys who put together the scouting reports. But Dan Wilson, when you think about it, learned at the heels of one of the greatest managers in the history of our franchise and one of the best managers in the Hall of Fame, or should be in the Hall of Fame, Lou Piniella. He was a catcher for Lou Piniella. He taught him how to run a game. And as a manager, that's what you do alongside your pitching coach, alongside your bench coach, with Pete Woodworth, pitching coach, with your bench coach, Manny Acta. You have to navigate each and every game. That's why the job is so tough. But Danny learned, from Lou Piniella. And as a catcher, you're calling the game, you're running the game, you're trying to do your best to get your pitcher through a tough time. You're trying to get your pitcher, when he's pitching well, to as close to the finish line as possible. And now Cal Raleigh, we haven't talked about Cal yet. I want to talk about him. Yeah. Cal is now doing that. But Dan Wilson, I told Danny at spring training, he took over the ball club last year on August the 22nd. And the ball club was really struggling. They were hitting .214 as a team. Edgar comes along as the hitting coach. The last 34 games of the year, they hit .264. They go 21-13 with Dan Wilson as the manager. So something special was there. They were listening to him. He came in. He doesn't do any yelling or screaming. He shows them the right way to get ready for a ball game. He shows them the right way how to win a ball game. And then he took it into spring training, got off to a good start. They were 18-12 in March and April. They were a game under 500 in May and June. Then, 3 games over 500 in July, 3 games over 500 in August, with the dog days come along. And now in September, what are they in September? 16-4. So Danny Wilson knows these guys. and he lets them play and he lets them have fun. And he should be the American League Manager of the Year. Stephen Vogt did it last year, first-year manager. He was the American League Manager of the Year, taking Cleveland, to the postseason. I can't say enough great things about Danny Wilson.
There it goes! Storybook season by Cal Raleigh. He has done it!
2026 Mariners season ticket memberships are on sale now. There's no better way to catch Cal, Julio, and the crew at T-Mobile Park with year-round savings, no ticket fees, access to exclusive pre-sales and events, and more. And you've got two great options. Reserved memberships let you lock in the best locations in the ballpark so you can make your favorite spot home all summer long, whether you want to catch 20 games or the whole season.
Oh, he makes the catch! What a snag by Julio Rodriguez!
Or go with a Flex membership, which gives you the freedom to choose your seats, games, and number of tickets as you go. Terrace Club, bleachers, right behind the dugout, divvy it up however you want. This season's been a whole lot of fun, and you won't want to miss out in 2026. Come on board today at mariners.com/26.
The Mariners, their third consecutive shutout win.
Mariners baseball. Seize the moment.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Hey, Brock Heward here. Taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge could save your family a lot of money. It saved us thousands. First Mark works for you. Search in the carriers for lower rates and better coverage. If that sounds smart, go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
It's G. Scott. School's back and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused, but for families on tight budgets, that's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with SNAP Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
It's 8:43. Sully's at the traffic desk.
And we continue to struggle coming up from the Puyallup-Sumner area on northbound 167. Only one lane remains open, the right lane there, as you get up past before Ellingson because of that overpass that was hit and the structural damage to the girder underneath. So we have an hour and 15-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton, maybe a little bit under depending on how you hit it now, because there isn't much slowing in Auburn and the slowing at the north end is manageable. And then you have Renton to Bellevue of about 45 minutes, which is okay. The S-curves are heavy, but it's not as bad through I-90 and up into Bellevue as it could be. Northbound I-5 continues to struggle as you work your way through Fife. As up the hill to 18, you're going to need about 30 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way. And then Federal Way to Seattle's running right around an hour and 10 minutes, with 40 of those minutes, maybe 45 now, from South Center. Coming down from the north end, it's trying to thin out on southbound 5 through Mount Lake Terrace, but boy, from the 85th on down, not pretty. Hour and 15 minute from Everett to Seattle, about an hour and 15 to an hour and 20 from Everett to Bellevue. Across the lake, we're still struggling on I-90 because of the expansion joint work on Mercer Island. The work zone switched overnight, so that might be catching people off guard. You now have to jog to the right, where yesterday you had to jog to the left. So keep that in mind. 35 minutes now from Seattle to Bellevue, and they've finished the road work on 520. The HOV lane is open, and it looks like we have another new crash on I-5 southbound right after the Dome in Tacoma. I'm checking into that, but we're backing up to the Puyallup River. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org.
Heading for a high of 65 today under partly sunny skies in Seattle. Closer to 70 tomorrow. Right now, it's 53 and partly sunny at 8:45. The famous cheerleading squad is back. Fans are cheering. Here's KIRO Newsradio's Katrina Gashard.
Okay, so if you know, the Toros are back at least for one night. Kirsten Dunst, Gabrielle Union, Jesse Bradford, and Lindsay Sloan celebrated the 25-year anniversary of Bring It On with a special screening and Q&A in LA. So Kirsten recently told Entertainment Tonight she's not looking to reprise her role as a cheerleader, but she did reminisce about sneaking into packed theaters with the director Peyton Reed back in 2000.
I went with Peyton, the director, to Universal City Walk, and we went into each theater, and it was packed. And I never, ever had that feeling before. This is a movie we did, so quietly under the radar in San Diego, and it's a big hit. I had no idea it was going to become what it has.
I suspect a lot of people will be bringing on cheerleaders for Halloween this year.
Yeah, my wife Ingrid had our daughter Lily recently watch it. They watched it together, and it holds up. They really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
so
it's a classic.
It is. All right, coming up, G. Scott stops by. We're going to talk Mariners. We'll talk Seahawks, all on the way here on Seattle's Morning News.
Are you looking at senior living options for you or a loved one? If so, you likely have many questions, like, what can I afford? How long will my savings last? And if I run out of money, will I have to move out? If these questions are weighing on you, I'm here to talk you through different solutions. Hi, I'm Amanda from Care Partners Senior Living. At Care Partners, we're focused on offering high-quality, compassionate care at very affordable prices to help stretch and preserve your assets. And if you ever run out of funds and need to convert to Medicaid, you won't have to move. We have vibrant communities throughout Western Washington, Spokane, and Arizona offering independent, assisted living, and memory care. Our caregivers are some of the most loving and genuine people you'll ever meet. Stretch your assets, preserve your estate, and never worry about moving. That's peace of mind and the Care Partners Living difference. Learn more at carepartnersliving.com. Care Partners is excited to announce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, Snohomish, and North Creek Bothell. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
After 35 years in the window industry, I know choosing the right team for your window or door project is a big decision. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Treating your home with care while offering top quality products is important to me. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards, reduce noise by up to 50%, and feature low maintenance, clean glass technology. Combined with our leading leak armor installation and lifetime warranty, you get protection for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
You're in your car every day, but when's the last time your car had a checkup? At Subaru of Puyallup, we make it easy with stress-free service. Open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Swing by before work, after work, or whenever it fits your schedule. No hassle, no pressure, just expert care on your schedule. Your car deserves it, and so do you. Schedule your appointment today at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
And joining us from the G and Ursula Show and the Reset Podcast, we have G. Scott stopping by. Hey. Can we just bask in this glow?
Come on now.
Mariners win the AL West. How are you feeling right now?
I feel good. I feel good all over. This is fantastic. People keep asking, what do you think? How do you feel? I feel like I keep just going down memory lane. That's what this has been doing for me. First of all, this is really cool. The Mariners have done something that they haven't done in 24 years. The Mariners have done something that they've only done 4 times, right? 4 times. And I was asking people already in the newsroom, in 1995, David Burbank, where was you at, bruh?
I was but a twinkle in the eye of my parents.
Okay, that's where you were?
Yes.
I would have probably answered that different. Me and Sully, hey, we'd have answered that one different.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Keep our jobs. 1997, were you still a twinkle?
No, I was an infant. But I was here.
Right,
I was around. Yeah.
David made it.
I'd arrived.
So I just keep thinking, I was thinking 1995, 97, 2001. Charlie, 2001, what was you doing, bro?
Well, I made it to the last game of the regular season as they took on the Rangers. They were trying to get that 117th win. So in 95, I was at the Kingdom watching them in the playoffs.
You were there?
Yeah, Game 4, watching Edgar hit that grand slam.
Nice.
Never forget that.
Nice. When 1995, I didn't have a care in the world. I didn't care about nobody but myself.
Yeah.
I was in college. I was a freshman in college during that time. Didn't care about anybody. But I just want to say this. This is really cool. Something that stood out to me. I remember, and if you guys remember, in October, so just 2 years ago, October of 2023, you guys remember when Cal Raleigh, he had came out and he basically was kind of like, hey, the Mariners need to be more aggressive in free agency if they want to compete at a higher level. And he came out and said that, and some people were like, ooh, I can't believe he said that. But actually, most Mariner fans were like, yes, thank you for saying that. And guess what?
He was right.
He was right. By the way, he later apologized for that.
Yeah.
But he was right. They did that, and look at where they are right now.
Doesn't that show the type of leader that he is too? That he came out, he wasn't afraid of coming out and saying something that maybe wasn't going to be super popular within the organization, but it needed to be said, and lo and behold, they went and made those changes.
Well, this is your time now. Is there anything you want to say that's not popular here at KIRO Radio, David Burbank? I'm sure Boss Lady ain't listening. You good?
More Sully, I think, on every show.
More Sully. Speaking of Sully, Sully, I'm glad you're here since you always are in charge of traffic and talking about that thing, and gas comes up. Speaking of gas, and back then, 2001, $1.56 a gallon.
Wow.
Come on now. Wow. $1.56. Matter of fact, all y'all folks on the iPhones right now, that you get text message and you didn't even have an iPhone. iPhones weren't even around during that time.
Neither was the iPod.
Ooh.
The iPod hadn't even come out yet.
Gee,
Xbox.
Give me 15 seconds. How crazy is this town going to go, especially if the Seahawks win today against Cardinals, Thursday Night Football, and we have a team in the playoffs for the Major League Baseball? How insane is it going to be?
Pandemonium. It is going to be fantastic right now. Tonight, I do think the Seahawks are going to win down there in Glendale. They're going to be playing against Labubu and the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know if y'all know who Labubu is. Oh, that's Kyler Murray. But yes, that's going to be fantastic. They're going to get that done. And then, of course, the Mariners are getting busy. And then everything is going to get silent on Saturday night, Sully.
Yeah, I know why.
You know why?
Because the Ohio State Buckeyes are going to roll the Huskies. It's not even going to be close. The fact that the delusional Husky fans out there, they're thinking this is going to be close.
Hey, the Huskies beat #1 Miami, back the last time the Mariners won the division.
Thanks to G. Scott, the Jeaners of the show, coming up 9 to noon. And now we go to traffic with Chris Sullivan. If I yell
I should
enough.
have a sports talk show. That would be very interesting. We could bring the knowledge there. Looking at northbound I-167, continue to struggle. Travel time has come back down, though, to about an hour from Puyallup to Renton. Still about 40 minutes, 20 minutes slower than it should be. Then Renton to Bellevue's at about 40 minutes. We do have a stall blocking the right center lane on southbound 5 at the Tacoma Dome. That's why you're so slow there. Going up the hill to 5's a little heavy. And then about an hour and 15-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle. Hour and 20, Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. And across the lake, it's going to take you 40 minutes from Seattle to Bellevue because of construction on Mercer Island. This report brought to you by Seaport Air, introducing convenient flights between Boeing Field and Seaport Airlines down to Portland. Just steps away, no TSA lines, seaportair.com.
Partly sunny and 65 today. And remember, you can enter to win a chance to go see the Seahawks game on October 5th. Simply text APP to 888-973-5476.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify key witness to our client's bicycle accident. which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Take your business to the next level in 2025 with help from WaFd Bank. WaFd Bank's business accounts and cash flow tools get you paid in hours, not weeks, so you can grow your business and meet your goals. You need a best bank. Visit wafdbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
If you're thinking about renovating an attic, spending more time in your sunroom, or building onto your home, a Carrier ductless unit is the perfect solution for climate control. It's efficient, quiet, and incredibly flexible when it comes to installation because there's no ductwork required. It's just one more way we're making your home totally comfortable.
Your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer will improve your home's comfort, air quality, and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find the expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
My name is Jonas Khan. I'm the founder and chairman of Carbitex. We're based here in Kennewick, Washington. We focus in the testing, development, and manufacturing of flexible carbon fiber composites. And we have about 50 people here in Washington. Operating a business in Washington State has a whole host of challenges. We're an AWB member because as a small, medium-sized business, AWB is able to handle so many aspects of state and federal regulations and changes that we don't have the resources to focus on. And of course, being able to take advantage of Health Choice has been a huge help for Carbitex. As we're structuring our compensation package for our employees who are coming on board, a cornerstone of that is health insurance. Not just any health insurance, it has to be high quality, easy to use, a great network, and we have that with Health Choice. And that's just been extremely helpful for us.
If you're looking for a great health plan for your employees, visit ProPointServices.com. Health Choice Trust is offered through the Association of Washington Business and powered by Primera Blue Cross.
Open enrollment for Medicare is coming up. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the consumer man here. Get organized early with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
Is your car road trip ready? Don't get stranded. Get to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Bucky's has been preparing cars, trucks, and SUVs for safe, worry-free travel for over 50 years. We take care of your car with experience and good old-fashioned customer service. For all your oil changes, brakes, AC charging, and factory maintenance, choose Bucky's. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com. Bucky's, where your car feels right at home.
This week at Dimitro's Jazz Alley, experience guitar legend Al Di Meola live on his electric tour, Land of the Midnight Sun. Shows run this Thursday through Sunday. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, the Oregon Trio.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1.